Hazlet Vikings are bursting with enthusiasm after back-to-back wins over Eaton Rapids and Charlotte, keeping their CAAC Gold Division title hopes alive. In last week's 22-14 homecoming win over Charlotte, running back Tony Taylor helped the Vikings to an early 15-0 lead with an 18-yard scoring run. On the defensive side, Andrew Radke came up big with 2 interceptions for the Vikings against the Orioles. And by the October harvest moon, the Hazlet defense will have to be at its best tonight against an unbeaten DeWitt squad which has one of the best offenses in the conference. Who will hold their helmets high in victory after this one? It's the Hazlet Vikings against the DeWitt Panthers live tonight on The Vision, and it starts now.
It's the game we've all been waiting for. 2 of the area's premier teams going head-to-head in rivalry has been deemed Game of the Week by all the area's media, and yes, by the home team and away team. DeWitt comes into Viking country undefeated and is looking to keep their perfect season intact. Dan Van Dremel and company will have to go through Hazlet's stingy defense and a rabid Hazlet student section to get the win. However, the road to the CAAC Gold title must come through Hazlet. We are live in Viking Stadium on an uncharacteristically warm October 7th, 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. I'm Brandon Manson. With me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Tony Huff. Tony, it's shaping up to be quite a matchup. What do you take?
Well, I think this game has the makings to be an extraordinary game. I think that Hazlet will not be able to contain the dynamic duo in Jason Fleet and Sam Antonio, and I believe that the DeWitt Panthers are going to throw the ball early and often.
Well, Tony, let's not forget that this is the best defense in the area in Hazlet's defense. They held East Lansing to 116 yards, and that was their most yards allowed this season so far. They have taken on Fowlerville and held them to just 14 points. And let's take note, Hazlet's pass defense is better than DeWitt's, allowing only 68 yards per game, and DeWitt allowing just over 70. Tony, with that being said, what are your keys to the game?
Well, I think Hazlet offense needs to put up points early and often. If they can get the momentum in their favor, I think that this is going to be a very easy game for Hazlet. Also, they need to stop the pass and make DeWitt one-dimensional. And on the other side, DeWitt needs to pass a lot, and they also need to blitz Duncan and make him feel uncomfortable in his first DeWitt game.
Well, Tony, I think a couple of the points you made there were excellent. I think that Hazlet offense has not shown what they're truly made of, and I think they're getting Eric Hadley back slowly but surely, and Tony Taylor's been playing better week to week. I think we should see a standout game if they can get some holes in the offensive line, who has a size advantage over the DeWitt defensive line. I think if they can open up some holes, we're going to see some big plays out of both those guys, and Greg Edwards is my player to watch for this game on offense, and my player to watch on defense is going to be not just one player, but the entire Hazlet secondary. Tony, let's go to your players to watch.
Well, I think that for my players to watch, you're going to watch Dan Van Dremel. He's the quarterback for DeWitt, and he is basically a human highlight reel. He's been throwing the ball extremely well this year, 1,353 yards this year with 22 touchdowns to boot. That is amazing, and he's having an awesome senior year. And also for Hazlet, I think the player to watch, you're going to look for Andrew Radke. He has 3 interceptions, 18 tackles on the year, but he's a small guy, and he's been playing higher than his potential, I think, this year.
And again, let me reiterate, it's not just Andrew Radke. He may be the leader of this Hazlet secondary, but watch the entire secondary. They put together a few new schemes this year. They're going to be playing a deeper cover 2 in the safeties to make sure that Fleet does not get behind him and that they cover Celentino on his cross routes.
Right, and like you said, it's a different defense this year. I think that this defense was made to play against DeWitt this year because they got burned so much last year.
Well, yeah, Tony, and I think that Hazlet has a size advantage on both sides of the ball, defense and offense on the line, and I hope they take advantage of that because I think if they can, they're going to come away with a big game. But let me tell you what I think the key to win this game is for both teams. It basically comes down to who plays better football. More discipline, makes bigger plays, and plays with more heart. It's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and it's going to come down to those penalty yard statistics. I think that's going to be the key, and I think it's going to be a great game, Tony.
Yep, I'd agree with everything that you just said. I think it's going to be an awesome game. You can, if you just can listen to the people out there. I mean, there's everybody from Hazlet and DeWitt, and here we see the Hazlet football schedule this year. And last game got away with it a little bit, I think.
Yeah, they did not play their best football by any means. I think they were already looking ahead to this week. So let's hope that we know they got away with the win last week, and let's hope that preparation that the players may have been doing earlier on last week pays off this week. But I know that I talked to several of the players this week and coaches. They're all extremely focused. They've been thinking about beating DeWitt since zeros of last week's game.
Yeah, you know, the focus for this team this week, you can tell these players, they want to beat DeWitt. This senior class has only had a select.
That's huge motivation in your leadership this year. And guys that have stepped up that haven't necessarily stepped up this year before. We're going to see a lot of standout players, I think.
And how awesome would it be for this senior class to knock off DeWitt and their, I guess, quest for an undefeated season?
I think that would be terrific for these Hazlet seniors. I know that this is all they've been dreaming of since they were little kids in youth football, and they've come all the way up to varsity. And to knock off DeWitt and ruin their chances of a perfect season and also tying up, making it a three-way tie for the CAAC Gold Championship, that'd be terrific.
And here are some of the statistical leaders for Hazlet running backs. Eric Hadley at the top up there, but a person that, like you said, to watch, Greg Edwards, he gets those yards.
He's really been plugging away this year. I mean, he's not super fast, but he's tough, and he gets those hard yards. And as you see, he's leading the team in touchdowns with 4. So I think, Tony, it's going to be a fantastic game. We're going to get to kickoff in just a minute, and it's going to be a fantastic game.
I think so, too.
You know, Tony, you and I went down on the field just a little bit ago, and I know that we felt something down there that we'd never felt before, and that was an electricity flowing through this crowd in preparation for this game, and it was just fantastic. I've never, ever been in a game with a feeling quite like that. This is shaping up to be the best game that we're going to see all year, I think.
And here, the standings show it all right there. DeWitt 4-0 in conference play. Hazlet 3-1. If Hazlet can get the win right here, it'll be a three-way tie for the CAC title. DeWitt's going to kick it off, and it's going to be a little squib kick. And actually, Hazlet touches the ball and jumps right back on it.
And they got away with one there. Brad Arnett missing that, and he pulls it back in after two DeWitt players go right over the ball, and he gets away with a free one there. So they'll start off with great field position at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, really got away with something right there.
So we'll see the Hazlet offense take over first.
Not going to be a conventional game, I don't think. I think got a lot of trickery.
I don't know about trickery, but I think just a new kind of game plan.
Deception. Hazlet's always done, deception, and I think they're not going to go with a different game plan, deception-wise, on their offense. But
that's what they're built to do.
Maybe they'll pass it a little bit. They have a pulling guard, and Eric Hadley gets the ball, and he'll be snuffed out for about a 1-yard gain, if that.
That's a good play by the DeWitt defense. I know that these coaches don't even really exchange game film, but I don't think you really need to. They haven't changed their scheme too much, and so they pretty much have each other's number. I think it's going to be fun to watch what these two defenses do and what adjustments they're going to have to make to be able to beat each other.
Should be a fun game for the students, coaches, and players. Hazlet going back into the wing T formation. DeWitt, look at all those people in the box. They're going to hand it back off. It looks like there was a fumble. And I think he'll be ruled down by contact. That was Greg Edwards that got the ball. So it's going to be 3rd down.
So nothing new so far. 2 plays into the game, 11:07 left. And just 2 runs right up the middle, snuffed out from the get-go. It'll be 3rd and 9, and I would expect to see this one go to the air.
Yeah, Hazlet, I think DeWitt's putting all those people in the box, and they're going to make them go to the air. I don't think DeWitt's game plan going into this game is that you're going to beat us throwing the ball, not passing.
That's right, and I think both teams are going to force each other to be one-dimensional.
Which will have the makings for an awesome, awesome game. Hazlet Duncan's gonna hold it for himself. He has Greg Edwards in the flats. Greg Edwards goes over the 1st down, and he gets a few more yards. It's over the 50-yard stripe, and there is a beautiful pass by Duncan.
Now that is perfect execution. Tackle got away with a little bit of a hold there, but the official did not see it. And that's going to be a big-time 1st down for the Vikings. That'll take the wind out of the sails just a little bit for this DeWitt crowd across the way.
I think Hazlet, if Duncan can roll out and just buy some more time, just not stay in that pocket, because he's not a pocket passer. He's more of that scrambling quarterback. If he can throw well on the run, I think Hazlet can win this game. So with that first down, 10 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, and Hazlitt's going to go give it right back up to Luke Magnuson, and he's going up the field. Nobody even saw him have the ball. He's being chased from behind, and he gets the touchdown. And there you go. Who would have thought it? Hazlitt strikes first.
Unbelievable. I don't think DeWitt was ready for that. I think they've been coming into this game. I think they were even a little bit cocky as it comes into this game. So far, even in warm-ups, you could feel that this team wanted to beat DeWitt so bad. They had new chance when they were warming up, when they were stretching. And there you go, bread and butter right up the middle, and Hazlitt gets that touchdown. That's a beautiful ball fake by Luke Magnuson, the fullback / kicker.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Not even 2 minutes into the game, and Hazlitt strikes first. $10 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock before that Hazlitt touchdown. Luke Madison back to kick the extra point. It is up, it's low though, and it's no good, wide right. So there, kind of a miscue on special teams, and Hazlitt hasn't had that this year.
Could cost him. And we got a replay coming up here in just a second of that awesome run. But a little bit of a miscue on special teams that could come back to bite him in the butt.
And here, just watch the deception.
And great blocking, too. The new guard, number 62, Nathan Paul, getting around for that trap block, bites up that tackle, and Magnuson breaks it free.
Not the fastest guy in the world, but he beats number 7 right there.
And that's Jason Fleet, DeWitt's burner, 4.40 time. And he's the guy we're going to have to watch on offense as well. And Magnuson beats Fleet to the end zone. And that's a great ball fake he carried out. He carried that for 20 yards, and he hit that ball extremely well. Absolute perfection on that play.
Yeah, you could hear the crowd really get into it. I got goosebumps on that last drive for Hazlitt.
I sure did.
This is what high school football is all about.
And this is what this rivalry is all about. Kicking each other in the teeth until you're the last man standing. And I shouldn't say, man, all the rivalries in Hazlitt DeWitt are great.
Oh, yeah. Was dominated last year by DeWitt, though. They beat Hazlitt.
This Hazlitt crowd,
yeah.
I'm sorry, Tony. This Hazlitt crowd's going nuts. They are up for this game, too. They want to win just as bad as this team, probably even worse.
Yeah, you know, last year there wasn't a big, fan turnout, but they didn't have the big game. I mean, I guess the only big game was the Davidson game, and that was a really cold one. You remember that one from last year. So here it is. Hazlitt going to kick the ball. It's going to be a little squib kick like they always do, and DeWitt's just going to drop down at the 30-yard line. So 10 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock. Hazlitt 6, DeWitt 0.
That'll be J.T. Whitman on the recovery. We'll get our first look at the DeWitt offense and their spread package. Celentino going to be at the bottom of your screen. Fleet on the right. And what you're going to want to watch for is Fleet with his fly patterns and also on the post routes. And Celentino generally runs over the middle.
Looks like almost not really an I formation. They have four running backs out there. They're going to hand it up right up the middle to number 42. And just a breakdown in defensive coverage. And he gets the first down and maybe a couple yards after that. So that's their first down on the first play for DeWitt.
Well, that's a great play call by Rob Zimmerman. He knew Hazlitt was going to come out looking for the pass, and he gives it to Blisner right up the middle. And Blisner's a big guy. He's 6'2". Yeah. And he takes it right up the middle for a big gain and a first down for DeWitt.
And like you said, DeWitt's normally not that good of a run offense. So
well, at least this year they've been getting everything done through the air.
Yeah, that's what I meant this year. And so we'll see, if they can keep it up. Here it is, as you see Van Drummel running, and number 2, Nick Guerrera, just drops that. So second down.
So far, just a few minutes into this game, 9:52 left in the first quarter. Already a very exciting football game.
Yeah. I didn't expect this.
Seems like, Tony, we came into this game expecting it to be a battle of the defenses, but so far it's been all offense, at least for Hazlitt.
Well, traditionally, we're wrong on everything. I mean, every time the Portland game, we said it's going to be an offensive battle, it's defensive. Davidson, we said it's going to be an offensive battle, and it turned out to be defense. So we said defensive battle today, now it's going to be offense. And as there you see, James Williams comes streaking up and sacks the quarterback in Van Drummel for a loss. That brings up third down.
That's a great defensive play call by defensive coordinator Jeff Woodworth and his new defense, calling that blitz right up the middle. And there was no chance for that play. They left that center gap wide open, and Williams was streaking in there. He was flying, and Van Dremel didn't have a chance. So 3rd down, 14, and that defense just stepped it up major.
That's what Hazlitt needs to do. They need to create, just that hurry for him. He can't feel too comfortable back there, because if you give Van Dremel all day, he will pick you apart.
And that's how he's done it all season.
So Van Dremel, the only guy back there, and he's going to drop back. He's looking at one guy. Good coverage. He throws it just a little high, and it is going to be caught.
And that's a great athletic catch by Sam Celentino.
Wow.
And that's what we're going to see them do all game. Celentino's got a height advantage over almost every player. And that secondary, Jordan Bosma on the coverage there. Bosma just 5'8", Celentino almost 6'4". There's a huge mismatch there.
So on 3rd and long, Celentino just grabs to the heavens and brings down a football.
What a gift.
It's going to be a 1st down. That was a pretty close call right there, but the official was right there.
That was 100% a catch, no doubt about that.
Jordan Bosma is on Celentino right now at the bottom of your screen. They're going. Van Dremel's going to hold on to it, and Tony Taylor just kind of misses the quarterback, and Van Dremel's going to go up. He's going to be very close to that 1st down, Brandon.
And this is an extremely athletic DeWitt team, like it always has been. Van Dremel, we didn't mention before, is a great passer, but when he gets outside and there's no one on him, he's got open field. He can cut it upfield and make some big plays happen as well. He's a very athletic running quarterback, too. I think he'll definitely be going on to play Division III or Division II, maybe even some Division I college ball. I mean, he's a great quarterback.
He is a great quarterback. He's the #1 quarterback for passing in the area with 1,353 yards. Like we said in the beginning, just an out-of-whack stat. They're going to throw it up to Blissner, straight up the middle, because he did not get that 1st down. And
yeah, he'll get about 0 on that carry.
So it's going to bring up 3rd down, or is that a 1st?
That's Zach Houghton and Agugo Okafor making the play there. And looks like they gave him the 1st down, so
wow.
Excuse me and my mistake. DeWitt gets the 1st down with Blissner.
8:24 left on the clock. DeWitt mounting a drive right now. This is their 1st possession of the game. Blissner, the lone back. Van Dremel's going to roll out, has a lot of time, throws it just a little high to Fleet, and it's going to be incomplete.
That's a little scary. He's not going to want to be in that area for too long. That's the has the student section Fleet just happened to fall into.
Wow.
And the senior girls, and they're vicious sometimes, let me tell you.
I thought they were going to beat him up.
No, they have more class than that.
More class?
More class. Plus, administrators are all over the place with cops.
Yeah.
So,
if any fight broke out, it would be stopped rather quickly.
Well, let me tell you something that I was hoping to see from this defense since very early in the game. But I figured this defensive line is going to get pressure on Van Dremel, flush him out, and these linebackers are going to absolutely have a field day with him.
Cody Grice and Blissner in the back. Van Dremel looks like they're going to throw an option. Hand it off to Cody Bryce. He's streaking up the field. Ben Rizzo, the only cornerback to hit him, and he's at the 5-yard line right there.
And this is has the defensive specialty, giving up big plays, but when it comes to crunch time, down near the goal line, they have been almost unbeatable. I think just one goal line stand failed by this defense. So we'll see what happens if they can force DeWitt to just a field goal. But this is where that size really comes into play, Tony. Zach Houghton, Agugo Okafor, and I believe that's Tyler Joseph rotating with Chad Stripling on that right tackle position. And they've been stellar this year.
They're going to go back to that spread formation, 2 backs in the backfield. They're going to hand it straight up to the middle to number 8, Cody Grice.
And he's down by contact at the 2-yard line.
Excuse me, the runner on that last, not just this play, but that big last gain was not by Cody Grice, but by Michael Thompson. And he's a very good player.
He's been around for a little while, too. He played last year, and we heard his name several times.
Yeah, he has 157 yards on the year with 3 touchdowns, so they feel comfortable giving him the ball.
I wouldn't be surprised here to see a pass to maybe a tight end on this play, Tony, or inside here. They're going to be looking for the run, obviously.
They do have Sam Celentino at the bottom of your screen, and it looks like it was going to be a quarterback sneak, and that's going to be snuffed out by that Hazlitt Vikings. So it's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd down and goal, and expect this Vikings fan base to get absolutely incredibly loud if they really want to win this game. And I think it's about to happen right now, Tony.
Ball is at the 1-yard line. 3rd and goal.
More or less.
It's coming.
There we go.
There we go.
There's that surge.
All right. And there's the DeWitt fans as well. That could be them, too. Oh, here comes the It's a battle of the towns here,
Yeah,
Tony. This is such a great rivalry. Goal line stand, 3rd and goal. Tony, take it over.
Standing room only here at Viking Stadium, 3rd down and 2, and it's going to be a quarterback sneak straight up the middle. I don't think he got in.
And the signal is 4th down.
Wow.
Hasn't making an impressive goal line stand there. We'll see
This
if
place is
DeWitt's
going to
going to
get
go
loud
for it.
early.
Oh, it's going to get real
This place
loud,
is going to get
folks.
loud way early.
Ball spotted at the 1 yard.
And
6
we'll see if they
minutes.
go for it here, Tony. And I'm not sure what they're going to do here, but I believe they will go for it. Why not? You're on the goal line. Get your keys out, folks. It's a key play. If you're at home and you unfortunately couldn't make it out to this game, get your keys out.
Exciting game early.
This is real exciting. This is what football's all about.
Now, this is exactly what the Hazlitt-DeWitt rivalry is all about.
This is what it's built for, if you can even make a comparison to that.
5 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. The crowd is wild. And number 8 goes straight up the middle. He gets into the end zone. Touchdown. That's Cody Grice for his 3rd touchdown on the year. Or excuse me, 2nd touchdown on the year.
So something we weren't prepared to really see is DeWitt getting it done on the ground.
Yeah. But they did do well in the air to set up that touchdown.
They did. They had a few big pass plays, but mostly done on the ground. An option play really set that one up, getting inside the Hazlitt 30-yard line. And a very exciting goal line stand. Unfortunately, Hazlitt could not pull that one out on defense. That's going to be the 2nd or 3rd time they've been beat all year.
Yeah, I think Hazlitt takes away from that possession that was good. I mean, they took them to 4th down on their own 1-yard line, so that's pretty good. And it looks like that's going to go straight up the gut for a PAT. That's going to bring up 7-6. DeWitt on top.
And we'll
With
see
5
how
minutes
Hazlitt
and
responds
33.
to that. I don't think Hazlitt's going to have much trouble responding. I think they're still fired up, and they're going to be mad now that they let that one go. And the defense is going to come out fired up for Hazlitt, and I think the DeWitt defense is going to come out fired up as well. And that's going to be, I think, all game going to be the story, back and forth.
Yep, looks like the DeWitt band made it out here. Made the pilgrimage to Hazlitt, Michigan.
Could be.
Right across the
I think
way.
something that we'd love to see later would be a drum off between these two drum lines, and I'm sorry, I'm not biased. I really am that this Hazlitt drum line is absolutely stellar, and they are the best drum line I've heard all year of all the games that I've been to.
5 minutes and 33 seconds left on the clock. DeWitt up, but only by the slimmest of margins. That's 7-6.
Bragdon kick for DeWitt.
And they will be kicking off
Nelson and Taylor.
to Hazlitt. Chris Bragdon will kick this one. It's just going to be a squib kick.
And some
And-
trouble fielding these.
1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
Looks like there's a flag on the play. That was Jordan Bosma on the return.
I think we're going to see a hold or a block in the back.
Laura, there's a flag on the play.
Let's see what it is.
And it's going to be a chop block on the Vikings, so this one's going to be coming back. But a little bit exciting there. Almost broke that one for a big game.
Yep, and like you said earlier in the game, that it's gonna come down to penalties and just mental mistakes.
And so far, Hazlitt not leading in that statistic. And I think that's one thing that's really helped DeWitt win a lot of games and win them big is the fact that they are a very disciplined team. Rob Zimmerman, as much as you or I or anyone here hates to admit it, is a great football coach.
He
He
really
does his
is.
job very well, and he makes sure this team is disciplined and prepared for every single game, and that's why they've had so much success.
Hazlitt gonna come out in the wing T formation. 5 minutes and 26 seconds left on this clock for the first quarter. They're gonna hand it straight up the middle, looks like. And that's gonna be snuffed out rather early.
Tony Taylor on the carry for the Vikings.
So about no gain on that call.
Lisner on the stop for DeWitt.
Man, I can feel the electricity in the air
This
right
is
now.
such an exciting
Yeah.
game, Tony. I think so far it's been everything we were hoping it would be.
Yeah, it really has. I didn't put this in my keys to the game, but something Hazlitt needs to do is keep the defense off the field. You know, keep that rather explosive offense in DeWitt off the field and just kind of milk the clock away. They're going to hand it straight up the middle, it looks like, to Luke Magnuson. He broke off a big one earlier in the game for a touchdown. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 10.
4:38 left to go in the first quarter. So far been pretty exciting. And here comes another big 3rd down for Hazlitt. Last time got it done through the air to Greg Edwards, who sprung it for the first down and about 7 yards more. So don't be surprised to see the same kind of attempt, but I think this one's going to go to R.J. Kelly.
Yeah, they need to utilize R.J. Kelly a little bit more than they have in the past. he has good hands. You know what I mean? He's really worked on his hands throughout the whole year. So I think that, throwing to him is actually pretty good. Good option.
Yeah, I mean, he's bigger than pretty much everybody on the field. So
Hazlitt looks like, Duncan's gonna hold on to it for himself. And he has a couple DeWitt players holding on to him. He gets about 6 yards on that last play.
not a bad play call. Unfortunately, the blocking, the blocking was good. He got to the outside, but the DeWitt defense swarmed all over that, and I think they're going to have to go ahead and punt this one away. As Reggie Duncan comes off the field, and that's not something Hazlitt wanted to do. He wanted to keep, like you said, the DeWitt offense off the field, and we'll see DeWitt goes to the air more now.
Tony Taylor back to punt because Jay Twitchell hurt earlier this week. Tony Taylor back there. It's a good snap. Punt is off. It's actually a rather decent punt. Fair catch called by DeWitt. So they're going to get it at their 40-yard line. 3 minutes and 21 seconds left on the clock, and DeWitt up 7-6.
That's not something Hazlitt can afford to do too much in this game, and that puts a lot of pressure on their defense to get a stop. But we'll see how the defense reacts. Again, the best defense in the area, and I think they're going to show them up in this game and show DeWitt what they're really made of. But really, it's been a tale of two offenses in this game, what it normally is for this rivalry. But we thought coming into this game it was going to be a battle of defenses. But
it's still rather early in the game, It can still swing into a defensive battle. So with that being said, DeWitt's going to come out, looks like in a spread package. Cody Grice in the backfield with Dan Van Drummel. Van Drummel's going to get it. He's just going to roll out. Throws it just a little high to Jason Fleet. And that's going to be incomplete.
I know one thing that the Hazlitt defense really has been working on this week is neutralizing Fleet as a threat. And that's why they're playing such a deep cover 2 now, is because Fleet, once he gets behind you, you're not going to catch him.
Yeah, he's extremely fast. All the wide receivers for DeWitt are extremely fast, and that's why they're one of the best offenses in the area. And they have the number 1 and number 3 wide receivers in the area, in Fleet and Celentino. Dan Van Drummel going to hold on to him for himself. Agugwa Okafor is going to reach back and tackle him for a sack. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the DeWitt Panthers.
Now let me tell you something about that young man right there, Agugwa Okafor. He has showed up to play football in the last 4 weeks, and last week led the team in tackles with 13. That's right, 13. And I believe he also had a sack, and he has a sack in this game so far. And he has really shown up to be quite a playmaker on this defense. Yeah. And you can just see the size that Hazlitt has on that front 3.
He, like you said, last week really had a big game, and that was his breakout game for the year. And, I think that was a good thing to see in that Charlotte game because it was a week before the DeWitt game, and you wanted to see him play extremely well going into this DeWitt game.
And he so far showed up to play. And these guys are fired up and they're excited. Another big 3rd down for DeWitt, 3rd and 11 coming up here. And let's see if they can get it done through the air again. Celentino with a very acrobatic catch last time. And I'm sure they're gonna try to show up and play again. I'd like to thank you once again for joining us live on the Vision 22, and we always appreciate welcoming us into your living rooms every single week that Hazlitt has a home game. And let me tell you, we have a blast doing this, and this might be the best game that we could do all year.
Yeah.
And we're going to go back to the field in just a second as we get ready to see this 3rd down 11. And Tony, I've been talking a lot. I'm going to let you take over for a minute.
2 minutes and 48 seconds left on this clock. 7-6 DeWitt. DeWitt right now 3rd and 11. Van Drummel's going to go back, and it's going to be a little screen, and incomplete. Number 2, Nick Gruawa fumbles the ball or whatever. It's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's a great play for this defense. That was a little swing pass over there, and just not a good pass by Van Drummel. Surprisingly enough, he made a mistake, and that's something that the defense is going to have to make him do all night.
Well, I don't know if you saw in that last play, but James Williams was coming with a blitz right there and providing some pressure on Van Drummel, so he had to throw it a little quicker than what he had wanted to. So great pressure on the quarterback so far against Hazlitt, against DeWitt. My words are all messed up right now. I'm so excited. It's going to be a fumbled snap, and it looks like Austin Nelson on the run. He's going to try and get it. He picks it up.
And that's going to be a horse collar, and the ref is reaching for his flag, and that's going to be a personal foul. And I am surprised that was called. And there's also a flag further up the field near to the line of scrimmage. Could be a hold, and I think these might be offsetting penalties, but Hazlitt retains possession.
That could be a double whammy.
So a big mistake there for DeWitt. I know he was just trying to make a tackle, but you cannot do that if you want to win this football game.
No. And you don't want to see a personal foul in this game. You know what I mean? I want to see a good game, a good, well-played, fair game. I don't want to see these personal fouls on either team.
You know what this rivalry is made of. I mean, there's always personal fouls on one side of the ball or the other, and I think it's a good thing for Hazlitt's mentality to see that it happened to DeWitt first, but I don't think that makes it okay for them to commit any.
No.
And there was a holding penalty on that last play as well. So that will be a 5-yard gain for Hazlitt off of that penalty.
Ooh.
And I'm rambling at this point.
It's all right. Here's the Huffster trivia question of the week. When was the last time that Hazlitt or DeWitt lost at home against each other? We're not going to give you any time to answer the question, but it was 1998 when Hazlitt won at DeWitt, 46-22.
And I know that DeWitt's going to try to break that cycle since then of the home team winning. And so far they're up by 1 point, so I guess they're on their way.
So here it is, Hazlitt in the wing T formation. And Duncan going to roll out. He has Greg Edwards out there. And that's just a silly pass. Interception, and that's going to be the first turnover of the game.
And that's Jason Fleet coming up and making a play. Got a size advantage over Greg Edwards, and that's, like you said, just a dumb mistake by Reggie Duncan. Under pressure in the pocket. May have been better to take the sack in that situation, Tony.
Yeah, I think so. There was nobody downfield open. Take the sack or throw it away. He was outside of the tackle box and just go back from the line of scrimmage. But you know what? This is his first Hazlitt DeWitt game. He's a sophomore, and with experience, he won't make that mistake.
Yeah, I was just going to say he is just a sophomore stepping up in week 2, but he's played great so far, and I guess you can't expect too much of him, but DeWitt will be 3 wide as we go into 1st and 10.
So Van Dremel back. He's going to throw over the middle and just lackadaisical pass right there to Fleet. It hits just before his feet. Incomplete pass.
Well, let me give you some history in this rivalry. Last year, James Williams, who's already been getting pressure on Van Dremel, made Van Dremel cry during the game last year. He hit him so hard. I think Van Dremel is afraid of Williams. He's never going to admit to it, but I think once you get hit that hard by somebody, you remember who they are, and you're going to try to avoid him at all costs. And you saw Williams coming right up the middle with a blitz.
2 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock. Van Dremel goes back. He has a couple of running backs in the flats, and that's going to be about a 5-yard gain. So that was actually a pretty good play call right there, but he gets hit by a couple Vikings.
Yeah, and that's a good defensive stop too. I mean, that could have been daylight there, but they swallowed him up, and that was a big hit. I don't know if you heard. That was a big hit on that kid too.
Oh, I heard.
Austin Nelson, number 4, is another guy we got to watch tonight. He went nuts last week against Charlotte. Had the game-winning pass breakup, I guess you could say, flipping a guy over.
Yeah.
And he hits way too hard for his size, let me tell you.
So here it is, Van Dremel. He has 2 running backs in the backfield. He's going to drop back, has great protection, throws it to the outside to Jason Fleet, and he's going to be dragged behind by number 2.
That's Tony Taylor
Tony
with the tackle, and he just got his big arms around Jason Fleet to get that stop. So far, he's been pretty much a non-factor. That's the first big play he's had all game. Van Dremel throwing it short or over his head.
Van Dremel's a better quarterback than that. He's not gonna make those mistakes throughout the game.
No, he's been playing at Varsity for 3 years, just like Duncan will his senior year. And I think Duncan, in a few years, is going to be a great quarterback as well.
So it looks like Van Dremel audibled at the line of scrimmage, giving it straight up to Blissner, and he gets about 5 yards on that gain. So.
And that's another reason why DeWitt likes Van Dremel so much, is that he's played for 3 years, and now he has the license as an experienced quarterback to call audibles at the line of scrimmage when he sees a mismatch in the defense, and that time the middle was wide open. He gives it to Blissner for 4 or 5 yards.
1 minute left in this first quarter, and DeWitt mounting another drive, but these drives haven't been as explosive like we thought coming into this game. This defense, this Hazlitt defense, I should say, has really given them, a piece of their mind as Agugo Okafor wraps up Blissner and brings him down for not even a yard.
So it'll be 3rd down and 5. Now another big 3rd down for the Viking defense and this DeWitt offense. Only putting up 7 points so far, and I think that's the least they've ever scored in one first quarter. Checking stats earlier this week, they averaged 14 points in the first quarter of every game that they've played so far.
44.6 in the whole game. So this is an offense that knows how to get the ball into the end zone. 17 seconds and counting on the clock in this first quarter. It looks like it's going to be the last play of the quarter. 3rd and 5. It's going to be a play-action pass. It looks like it's going to be up to Fleet. He gets that in the end zone. That's a touchdown for DeWitt.
And excuse me for my statistical pointing outing.
Yeah.
But it appears to me, pending the extra point, DeWitt will keep their average of 14 points in the first quarter. And that's a play that we've expected to see all night.
Yep.
And
Just
we knew that was going to happen. The streak pattern to Fleet got behind the defender, and he was gone. And that's a perfectly thrown ball by Van Dremel.
So DeWitt's special teams will come out for this extra point.
Matt Jimerson in for the hold.
Snap is down. It's a little up, but it could be, and it is good. So DeWitt will go up 8 against Hazlitt, 14-6.
And that was a good series by the DeWitt offense. Fleet coming away with the interception to get the turnover and coming up with the touchdown catch to get them up 14-6. And I'm hoping that this Hazlitt team is going to be able to bounce back, and this crowd needs to get back into this game.
I think this Hazlitt team will bounce back. I mean, they've bounced back from worse this year.
Very true. You know, I don't think there's going to be more than probably 40 points scored in this entire game. I think it's going to be a very defensive battle, but then again, we could be wrong. We normally are. And at the, well, almost the end of the quarter, we have 3.5 seconds left, but it appears, barring a very impressive return by Austin Nelson
Or Tony Taylor.
Or Tony Taylor.
Or Jordan Bosma.
Anyone who gets the ball, really.
They have a lot of people who can run back this ball.
Very true.
Ben Rizzo over there, he's had the ball a couple times. So here, they're going to kick it to the left side of the field. Tony Taylor's going to pick this up. He bobbles it first. Has some good protection.
That looks like another horse collar. And they're going to need the refs are going to need to take control of this game real quick because someone's going to get hurt. And this Hazlitt team has really been playing very disciplined as far as personal fouls go. I know that they're mad, but, you know, they've been playing very disciplined on that. And at quarter's end, the score is 14-6 in favor of DeWitt. And when we come back from this short commercial break, we're going to come back to you with the second quarter. We'll be right back.
Citizens Bank. Come and see us in Hazlitt.
Standing at 6'3", all world, the man of the hour, the power of power, too sweet to be sour, Jared Hamlin!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Viking Stadium. We're coming to you live, and it's the beginning of the second quarter, just not even underway. 12 minutes left, 14-6 is the score in favor of DeWitt, just mounting a very impressive drive from the Hazlitt 45-yard line off an interception by Fleet, who then later made the touchdown catch. And these fans are fired up, let me tell you. And it's an exciting place to be right now on October 5th, 2007. It's very warm, but the game is even hotter. And we're about to get underway with second quarter.
Normally this game's rather cold, but nevertheless, standing room only here at Viking Stadium. As well it should be. They're going to hand it off to Tony Taylor. He's going to take it to the outside. Good block. He had to just get over that guy, and he's going to be down by contact. He's going to lose about 3 yards, and that's not what you want to see.
No, and Tony really he's been recovering from injury all season, and it was a hand injury, so I guess I just don't understand why he hasn't run as well as as he used to. And it's not, I don't think it's anymore a thing of lack of repetitions, because he's been playing for the last 3 weeks now of running back. So hopefully he picks it up, because they're going to need him to win this game.
So here it is, 2nd and 14. Hazlitt back in the winged tee. They're going to hand it off to, it looks like Luke Magnuson straight up the middle. And
that's a fumble, and DeWitt's going to recover.
Can't do that.
So Hazlitt all of a sudden comes out quick in the first quarter, striking first, and since then not looking like a very sharp Hazlitt team, and very reminiscent of the week before in Charlotte, just making mistakes. Not penalties so much as just mistakes.
And this DeWitt crowd is making some noise here at Viking Stadium.
Well, they're used to winning, and they're used to being able to cheer loud for a lot of things, and I guess this team's just giving them a reason to do it. So, again, the defense put in an unfair position to try to make a stop, not being able to do it so far. And we'll see if they can't turn that around right now.
Yeah, hopefully Hazlitt can return the favor in the turnover category right here.
Mike Hilker, the middle linebacker, giving a little pep talk to nose guard Zach Houghton, who is going to be another big factor in this game.
Yeah, and Zach Houghton, only a junior, and he's it's one of the reasons why Hazlitt's future is very bright. They're going to throw it straight up to Salentino, and that's just a mismatch over there. That's going to be a touchdown for DeWitt, so they're striking basically at will right now, 20-6, early in the second quarter.
And that's just a mismatch that you're going to be seeing all game is Salentino on Jordan Bosma. And that's unfortunate for these Vikings that they just don't have the size in the secondary to compare to these tall receivers from DeWitt. They're going to have to figure out some way to stop them. Now down 14 points.
Pending an extra kick.
Yeah, 15 pending an extra point. And there's Salentino on the sidelines right there.
So DeWitt, snap is down, kick is up, almost blocked, but it's going to be good. So 21-6, DeWitt with 11 minutes and 4 seconds left on the clock.
I'd hate to see that things are looking bleak for this Vikings team, so I'm not going to say that because I don't think they are. I think right now they just need to find their center and start playing, with more tenacity and be more aggressive. And you hear this crowd from Hazlitt getting fired up and try to get this team fired up because they're still very much in this ball game.
Oh, yeah, I think, but if Hazlitt scores right now, you're going to get the morale up, you're going to get the belief, back. I think that a lot of the momentum right now is on DeWitt's shoulders, and you know what? It's come down to the turnovers right now. 2 turnovers, 14 points for DeWitt.
Exactly. They've been able to capitalize, and that was a quick strike like they've done all season. It was Van Dremel to Salentino in one play to the back corner of the end zone right over Jordan Bosma, and they need to start figuring out how they're going to protect against these mismatches because it's going to kill them all game. There's nothing they can do about that. Charlie Outlewski talking to one of his assistant coaches.
So here it is, DeWitt going to kick just another squib kick over to Ben Rizzo, and God almighty, they've been doing that every single time. They've been going for the ball and dropping it.
I don't understand why it's so hard for this Vikings team to catch the ball.
No official word who got the ball yet. Sorry, Brandon, to take it. And it's going to be DeWitt.
I'm not sure why it's so hard to field that kick. I mean, we're not down there, but it seems to me like eventually you'd figure it out, that it's a bouncing ball, and you got to catch it with your arms and bring it into your chest and just fall down.
I think he thought about running it before he even caught it.
That's the problem, and Hazlitt's going to take a timeout to think things over and try to get their heads on straight. This is the 3rd possession in a row that DeWitt has been inside Hazlitt territory to begin with, and it's been all off of turnovers. This has just been a poorly executed special teams, really, than anything else. I mean, yeah, the interception to Fleet was bad, but I guess I don't want to make an excuse for Reggie, but he's young, and he has to make that throw because that's what he thought was the right thing to do. He'll learn. But this is inexcusable. Yeah. This is poor special teams play, and there's no reason that you shouldn't be fielding that kick and bringing it down and keeping possession. Hazlitt has not had the ball this entire second quarter, and it's just been a minute into the quarter. And, yeah, it sounds crazy, but DeWitt's already scored once, so they need to get their heads in the game right now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
And I didn't want to be saying stuff like that in the air for this game, but it's already looking like they're going to need a big-time pep talk.
It needs to be said. It needs to be said.
Last week at halftime, Hazlitt was up 15-0 against Charlotte, and it should have been 40-0. And Charlie Outlewski did not give them a pep talk. He went and he vented on the coaches, but nothing to the players. And I think he's going to be giving them quite a speech at halftime to fire them back up.
So Van Drummel back to pass. There's going to be, there's going to be just a nice bullet pass over to Celentino over there, and he gets about 4 yards on that.
But there's nothing I'm trying to take away from this DeWitt team, as much as I hate to admit it. We all know that they're a great football team, you know, and that's a great play by Celentino coming back to the ball, and it was tipped by Brett Arnett, who was coming in on a rush, and Celentino just came back and made that play.
So here it is, DeWitt going back to the spread formation. Has Hazlitt basically on their toes. They have no idea what's coming. They're going to hand it over to Fleet, and there is nobody in the area, and he makes one guy miss, makes another guy miss, and he's down at the 1 yard line, and that's just poor tackling.
That's another thing that this defense needs to figure out. The last couple of weeks, it's been poor tackling, and they need to figure that out. And Fleet's a burner. They're lucky that he didn't score right there, and now,
Did you see
guess
how
what?
many guys he made miss?
Yeah, 4 guys could have made that tackle.
That's a playmaker right there, folks.
And also poor tackling.
First and goal, DeWitt from the Vikings 2 yard line.
So we're going to see another goal line stand, second one of the game, excuse me.
Sorry. 10-14 left in the second quarter. And this one looking like it could be a blowout
Well, we're hoping not.
quickly. And there's going to be
Could be a delay game or a timeout
timeout by DeWitt.
called by DeWitt. They're going to try to figure things out. And they're just going to see how they can embarrass this Hazlitt defense. I guarantee that's what they're trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out, can we make DeWitt, or can we make Hazlitt bite on an up the middle run and reverse it around the end of Fleet, just so Fleet can get some more points on the board.
Yeah.
And that tomorrow in the Lansing State Journal, he'll be front page raising his arms up in victory because he had 4 touchdowns and 200 yards in this game. That's what they're trying to figure out, Tony. And we're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back.
This is my brother and his friends. They stay above the influence. Alcohol has never affected us. Until today. This badge looks like this was an alcohol-related accident. We're going to be taking one patient to the morgue. Last year, more than 16,000 people were killed in alcohol-related motor vehicle accidents. Don't become a statistic.
That'll be a touchdown.
Welcome back.
Yep. Welcome back to the game, folks. DeWitt just scored. It's now 27-6 just in the second quarter. And it looked like a pretty good game from the first quarter. Hazlitt struck first. And ever since then, it's been all DeWitt. 9:55 left in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And they're showing why they were the favorites in this game.
They're a quick striking team, kind of like a Cobra. Sort of.
Yeah.
Here the extra point. The kick is up, and it looks like it's going to be good, and it is. So that's 28-6. DeWitt.
This is not the game that Hazlitt was looking for, but I know everything DeWitt was looking for.
Yeah.
I wonder if their other games were this ugly. I know Fowlerville wasn't. They didn't score this many points in that game.
The thing for Hazlitt is that they need to know it's still early in the game. A couple things go their way, and a turnover here, a touchdown there. They're back in the game. I mean, it's 9 minutes, 55 seconds left in the first half.
You know, Tony, I guess you're right, but for some reason I felt like there was sarcasm in your voice, but, you know,
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. You know, they're still in this ball game. There's still 2 quarters left in this, 2 quarters and a bunch of the second quarter left in this ball game.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been a tough one to watch for us for sure, and I'm sure you folks at home as well. But, you know, it'll be good.
It will be good. And there, Hazlitt muffs another kickoff, but they get back on it, and this is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, you know, on air, but 4 separate times now they have muffed it. And once they lost it.
And you know what, Tony? The other thing that's bizarre to me is that it is warm outside. It is nowhere near the dew point, and people are slipping all over the field. That ball looks like it's probably coated in, like, I don't.
Kerosene.
Something slippery. I don't know what's going on, Tony, but here comes the offense. We're going to see if they can get it done. They haven't been on the field in a while.
No, they haven't.
You think they remember what it's like?
I don't even remember last time they had the ball. 9:54 left in the second quarter. Hazlitt in the winged T formation. They're going to hand it straight up the middle to Greg Edwards, and he gets about 4 yards, and that's exactly what Hazlitt needs to do on first down. Now they can open the playbook a little bit, maybe go to the air.
Yeah, and I think you might see another run here. I think they're probably going to go off tackle or maybe right up the middle again to Magnuson, but last time Magnuson had the ball, he had a good gain, and DeWitt came in, and they popped him, and he let that ball go because guess what? He didn't play till the whistle. That's not a knock on him, but that's just something you got to do as a player is play to the whistle and hold on to that football.
Looked like his forward progression was stopped on that last play, but anyway, Eric Hadley going to take it straight up the middle. Still holding on to that ball, and that's exactly
that, my friend, that is the Eric Hadley we used to see in the power running back who's got an explosion out of the backfield. When he hits a seam, he goes. And then guess what? If you're about a 5'10 linebacker, 180 pounds, Hadley's bigger than you, and he will run over you. And then once he gets in the secondary, he's a hard guy to bring down when he finds some open field. And you saw him driving forward there, and that's a great thing that I like seeing. And I'm glad that he's starting to get that back. He's been out. And here comes the Hazlitt crowd and this offense. 3rd down and 2 to go.
8:47 left in the second quarter. Hazlitt going back to the wing T formation. Going to hand it straight up the middle to Greg Edwards, but he's stuffed out by the DeWitt linebacking core. Going to bring up a 4th down. And Brandon, if you're Coach O, do you go for it right now?
Absolutely. You are. You know what? Yes.
Yeah,
because I'm an aggressive play caller, Tony. I think when you're 28-6 in the hole and you're looking for some momentum, you're going to go for it, but they're clearly not going to go for it here, Tony. And I'm not sure if that's a good play call or bad, but you know.
Could be a fake right here. You never know.
Could be, but I mean, again, this is some conservative play calling, but you want to go in the half with some dignity. And if they can get DeWitt back deeper in their territory and the defense can get a stop, that would be optimal.
Yep, and they are going to punt it. Nice punt by Tony Taylor.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a Hazlitt bounce, it looks like.
A nice Hazlitt bounce. Good punt by Tony Taylor.
Almost to the 20-yard line. So, all right, field position for this defense. Actually, better than what they've had the last couple of
times.
times.
I think this finally gives the defense a chance to force DeWitt to punt it.
Do you think he punted it right there because he wants the Hazlitt defense to get some momentum instead of the offense?
I think he punted it there because they're 28-6 in the hole, Tony. And if you didn't get that 4th down conversion, DeWitt once again is inside your 40-yard line, and you just can't afford to let that set with your defense again. So I think he made a smart play by punting it, and that's a nice punt that they got. And it rolled almost to DeWitt's 20-yard line, and this is territory where the defense is more comfortable playing and are more confident about making a stop.
Looking at the body language of this the Hazlitt team on the sidelines, just kind of moping around. That's not something you want to see right now.
28-6 is the score.
There's going to be a timeout called on the field.
Timeout, DeWitt.
And DeWitt's going to call that timeout.
DeWitt's 3rd.
So all of a sudden they're in their own territory and they're pretty confused on what they're supposed to do. They don't remember what it's like to play in their own territory.
So 7:49 left on the clock. DeWitt 28. Hazlitt 6 right now.
Yeah, not quite the game we were thinking it was going to be. But then again, DeWitt is the favorite in the area, and they are the area's best team without a doubt. As good as this Hazlitt team is, DeWitt is clearly of a superior caliber, but this is a very, very heated rivalry. And I think Hazlitt, if they play their best football, they can beat this team or at least make it a game. And I think you're going to see that probably even in the latter half of this quarter. I think this Hazlitt team is going to come out and play better football, and they're going to make it a game.
Yeah, I think so too. Going back to the action on the field, DeWitt figures out what play they want to call. And they're going to hand it straight up the middle to Cody Grice. He's still on his feet into the secondary, but he slips up, and that's going to be a 1st down, nevertheless.
So getting it done through the ground, too. I don't know. We haven't really watched this DeWitt team because we're from Hazlitt, but is their run game working more effectively, or is this defense just not as good as we thought they were?
I think this defense is just I think they're stunned right now. They've never really been in this position. Last time they were in this position was against Portland, really. I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah,
Like,
but that game was close.
Oh, that game was close.
And that's a big hit by Tyler Joseph.
I didn't even see the hit.
I even said that in my low voice because that's how manly of a hit that was. I mean, that'll put some hair on your chest. Or I guess in that case, if you're the running back, probably take it all off.
Second down. And Hazlitt, I think the Hazlitt defense really needs to stop right here. They need to get the momentum back in Hazlitt's favor.
Because we've heard this crowd get crazy before, and when they do, they make a lot of noise.
They're able to. I mean, this is a big game. This is for all the marbles in the CAAC.
It's true. It's all or nothing for this Hazlitt team.
And here it is, Brad Arnett running. It could be a backward pass. It's going to be incomplete. It's going to be the ruling on the field. I don't know. What did you think on that pass?
I thought it was a backwards pass as well, but clearly the officials didn't think so. But an incomplete pass is good for this Hazlitt defense because that's going to give them that statistic. And it's going to be third down and long for this DeWitt team. However, they've always been able to get the job done on third and long.
One thing I didn't like seeing on that was that they were having a defensive end blitz, and they just threw it out to the flats to that running back. There was nobody in sight to tackle him. Van Drummel just bobbles it a little bit. He's under pressure by James Williams.
He's got receivers open downfield.
And it's just going to be an incomplete pass. But see, there's the experience right there. He didn't throw it, downfield so it could be picked. He threw it at that wide receiver's legs. That way, it's an incomplete pass, not an interception. It's going to bring up fourth down. Yeah, I know that you can say, oh, he had a bad pass. That's exactly what you're supposed to do right there.
Exactly. You throw it into the ground near a receiver so that no one can pick it off. And yes, you got the fourth down, but guess what? Hazlitt didn't get the ball back in your territory.
So,
and you heard the crowd right there beneath us getting pretty crazy, trying to get this team back in the ball game. Like we said, folks, 6:42 left. It's still a ball game for sure.
4th and 9 as this Hazlitt defense gets their first stop of the night and kind of giving them something to believe in. It's going to be punted way back to almost the 25-yard line. So Hazlitt, all right, field position, and let's see if they can mount a drive.
This is better field position than they've pretty much had all game. So the offense almost putting together a drive, but they went 3 and out last time. But expect them to do the same kind of thing, and I think we're going to see a nice put-together drive here from the Vikings.
And I think they need to pass a little bit more. I mean, they passed it that one time to Greg Edwards and got the first down and really never went back to it.
Yeah, and I think maybe they thought that DeWitt would sniff that pass out, but, who knows? You never know until you try, right?
Exactly. Well, they passed it for an interception, so I don't know if they'll pass it too many times, but anyway. I still think he's a pretty good player. Eric Hadley been hit by a couple people, still on his feet though, and they're showing the heart he has, and this is a big game. I think he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a 1-yard loss, but
he'll lose a couple yards there, but that's a lot of heart shown by Eric Hadley, and unfortunately been hurt for most of the season with a knee injury, had surgery, but he's really kind of coming back now. We see the old Eric Hadley and that leadership that he brings to this offense.
But you know what? He's still the leading rusher on this team, even with all the injuries.
Yeah, even with the 3 carries that he had in Eaton Rapids and about the 10 that he had last week, he's still the leading rusher after that East Lansing game in week 1.
So Hazlitt going to go back to the wing T formation, 5:50 left in the half. Reggie Duncan snaps it, holds on to it for himself, and he's looking downfield to pass, makes a couple people miss. Great blocking upfield. He's going to throw it up to number 3, Eric Hadley, and there's a flag in the backfield. He's going all the way up the sidelines. Nobody's there. That's a touchdown.
We'll see what that flag is.
And Reggie Duncan.
That's a fantastic play, Tony. Unfortunately, you and I aren't that excited because we saw that flag come out.
Hey, wait, right there. He just called personal foul, roughing the passer on DeWitt. So there, Hazlitt scores. That's going to bring 12 points for this Hazlitt offense.
13 pending on the extra point, 14 pending on, Coach O feels like, a 2-point conversion. And that was exciting, Tony. That's really got the momentum shifting here, I feel, at least. I don't know about you, but that was very exciting.
Coach O wanting to get some clarification on that last call.
Well, I think Coach O is just trying to make sure that this game stays as clean as possible. He knows what kind of a game this is, but he and Rob have been in this game so many times that they know what can happen, and they want to make sure this is a clean ball game.
Who would have thought that Eric Hadley got a receiving touchdown? And a big one at that.
Yeah, actually, a huge one, Tony. I mean, that's awesome, actually.
And I think that penalty will be assessed on the kick.
Throwing my professionalism aside, that was awesome. I am so excited.
And like Brian Town said last week, awesome is a good word.
It is a great word.
And they're
That's
going
not
for
good.
2.
That's just horrible.
Get on that.
That's
And we saw that play last week, and it worked out rather well. But just a muff snap by Austin Nelson. And we're going to look at the replay of that last, what'd you say, awesome receiving touchdown.
I think this should be our new slogan for the Vision Sports. Vision Sports, awesome. It's really.
Look at the ball fakes, and just watch what he does, taking it to the opposite side of the
And
field.
you see right there, as the defenders taking each other, or not has, excuse me, DeWitt defenders taking each other out by accident. Reggie scrambling upfield, sees Hadley open. He'll get that ball out, and that's a great pass. Hadley, with nice soft hands, gets that. Kelly and Sherman in front to make tackles, and once he got by number 10, that's Matt Jefferson, the backup quarterback. He was gone, and Hadley is a burner, and he's looking like the old Hadley we used to see all the time.
Get him into the open field, and good things will happen.
Get the ball in his hands, and good things will happen. I mean, he had a 5-yard loss earlier in that drive, made it into a 1-yard loss the very next play.
Yep, so after that personal foul, Haslett will move up 15 yards and kick from DeWitt's 45.
So what do you do here, Tony? Do you kick it in the end zone, or do you squib kick it and try to get them deep in their own territory and let your defense make a stop?
Haslett normally squib kicks it. I think they're just going to kick it, or I say kick it long, because if he gets it at the 1-yard line, I mean, the special teams all year has been pretty good, when they kicked it long.
Yeah, very true. I mean, there's been very few returns that have really been big-time returns.
And DeWitt looks like they might. They're just like not wanting this to be an onside kick right now, because if it's an onside kick, Haslett would have pretty good field position. So
they'd have great field position.
Don't leave that out. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock.
28-12. Excuse me.
28-12. DeWitt on top. And Luke Magson going to kick it deep. And that's going to be a couple yards in the end zone. So there's a touchback. First touchback of the year for Haslett.
Awesome. Again,
always
there's
like to
that
see
word.
that. Yeah, it's a reoccurring theme here on the Vision.
Because it's awesome.
It is.
So DeWitt will start from their own 20-yard line, and it has the defense last time they started in this territory. Got a 3-and-out. And we'll see if they can get another one here, but I don't think that this DeWitt offense is too worried about it just quite yet.
They've been in worse situations in the past, And when we talk about the past, we don't mean this year necessarily. They have a lot of senior leadership, and they've played for 3+ years.
Very
true. A lot of them have played for 3+ years.
Dan Van Dremel, obviously the most outstanding one playing for 3.
Sam Celentino, another one. So they're going to hand it straight up the middle to Blissner. Excuse me, Van Dremel's going to hold on to it, and he gets a first down and some, and he fooled everyone right there.
Yeah, and contact made by Nelson and Bosma, and it's too bad it wasn't the other way around, because I guarantee you Nelson would have sent him quite a message right into his ear hole.
Yeah. He hits hard for,
He hits hard, not just for his size, but for pretty much anybody.
Yeah. Haslett's defense spread out. 5 minutes and 13 seconds left on the clock. Van Dremel tries to go straight up the middle with it, but he's tripped up by
Speak of the
couple.
devil. Speak of the devil, and there's Austin Nelson. Not to say he's the devil, but we were just talking about him, and he just made that tackle.
Yeah.
Thought I'd just draw
I understand.
everything there for everyone at home, so you don't call and complain that we called Austin Nelson the devil.
2nd and 9 right now. 4:45 on the clock. Well, left in this first half. And Van Dremel gonna go out. He's rolling. Got a guy on his feet, and it's almost picked off by Andrew Radke, the guy that we wanted to watch today. And that was just great defense by Haslett. Van Dremel had nowhere to pass.
Yeah, 2 interceptions last week from Radke, and almost came up with another one there. The pass just a little too high, but that's a great play for him. Tipping the ball over Jimerson's head. That's going to bring up another 3rd down along.
3rd down, 9.
Yeah, I think this is a key play right here.
It really is. This may be the most key. Folks, if you're at home, get your keys out. Cheer on your Viking defensive squad. They are what is going to win this game for you. 4:33 left in the half. 3rd and 9. 28-12 is the score. This is the Haslett-DeWitt rivalry game of the week. And here it comes.
Van Dremel back. Crowd getting loud. And he looks like he's going to try to take this upfield. has a guy open and just overthrows him. So that's going to be an incomplete pass. Another stop for this Hazlitt defense, and it looks like DeWitt will punt this one away.
So, yeah, you pretty much just summed it up there. Not much I can say to add to that. Just a great defensive stop, and I think the momentum is shifting just a little bit. With 4:28 left, that's easily enough time for a score for this offense.
Hazlitt showing a lot of heart
Powers in punt formation for DeWitt.
right now.
Nelson.
Yes, they are the team with a heart of steel, and I don't think they've shown any better than they have tonight.
Hazlitt can get into the end zone one more time. It would be awesome. Almost blocked, but a good punt out there, and Austin Nelson kind of bobbles it a little bit. He changes directions right here.
That's questionable block.
And he's going to be dropped.
Well, okay. Well,
I don't think that
very
was right.
interesting that I think DeWitt's putting something on their footballs because they keep bobbling these, or we just can't catch.
I don't know. It seems like DeWitt can catch the ball.
They sure can. I don't know. There must be another species of human in the way that they can catch the ball. But the last 3-4 plays couldn't get it done through the air. So Vikings will take over on offense from their own 24-yard line. 4:13 left in the first half. And here comes the Hazlitt crowd, going to try to get this team fired up. We'll see if they can play some good offense.
Reggie Duncan under center. Back in the wing T formation is the other Hazlitt running backs. Going to give it straight up the middle to Greg Edwards. He gets maybe a yard, and that will bring up second down.
Not quite the gain you were looking for on first down.
Well, Hazlitt does that all the time, just give it right up the middle on first down. And,
eventually, someone's going to catch on, don't you think?
Well, Rob Zimmerman has caught on the last couple of years.
I think Rob Zimmerman's caught on since he first saw this offense.
Three minutes, 3:40 on the clock. Duncan under center.
Stacking the box.
Looks like they're going to hand it straight up the middle again. No, Duncan's going to hold on to it, and he'll be dropped.
That looked like it could have maybe have been painful. A little bit of smack talk there coming from number 81, J.T. Whitman, with a big hit. And, Tony, there would have been a great time to call a pass. There was 11 people in the box, Tony. That's every member of the defense, in case you didn't follow football at home, which begs the question, why are you watching this game if you didn't know that there are 11 people on the field for each side?
But nevertheless, we digress.
Very much so.
Third and country mile, 15 yards right now. Hazlitt must.
Oh, hey, look at this.
Hey, what's this, Brandon?
They're going DeWitt on DeWitt. Do you think they see this in practice? I don't know, every day.
So let's see. Duncan going to go back, and he'll be sacked by number 74. Nobody even blocked him. So that's going to bring up fourth down and possible 30.
29 if they're lucky.
Wow.
That was just, can I say horrible?
Yeah.
It was the exact opposite of whatever awesome is. That's what that play was, and that was just a promising, possession for the Vikings. Getting into their own territory, stopping DeWitt 2 times in a row. 4th and 24 now.
So Hazlitt going to punt this one. Tony Taylor in his own end zone, and that's not very good. But it takes a Hazlitt bounce, and it looks
Kinda.
like, kind of. I mean, it went up about 5 yards, and the ref is going to be rather.
He's going to be pretty generous on the spot for the Vikings. Of course, we aren't on the field to see exactly where that ball went out either. But
I know that's right where we are, and I thought that was out just before the 45-yard line.
Well, he was pretty generous with it, so we'll see if the defense can come up with another stop here in their own territory.
DeWitt's
once again, DeWitt threatening 2:08 left on the clock.
DeWitt's defense really stepped up right there.
Yeah, they really did. Yeah. They came out to play some football.
That's why this is an amazing rivalry over the years.
Unfortunately, last year, DeWitt taking both of the games, the second one in the playoffs, and like I said, everyone is out to see this game from both towns.
So Van Drummel in the backfield, and it's going to be, looks like a quarterback screen, but number 10 will be dropped. And look at that defense right there, knowing exactly what was going to happen, and they were on their feet, snuffed it out, and got the sack.
That's what this defense does, though. They're very well prepared for each game, and I'm sure they saw that play on film, because the last 2 games that DeWitt has played have really been kind of blowouts, but you know, they were ready for that play and they knew it was coming.
So Van Drummel back all by his lonesome. And he will go out looking for someone to pass downfield. He has Fleet wide open, but he'll get a hand on it, but drop it. So it's going to be an incomplete pass and kind of a gift for Hazlitt.
A little bit, man. Fleet was wide open. Now that brings up 3rd down and 12.
And Fleet will catch that ball 8 out of 10 times. I won't go as far as say 9.
No, that's a very hard ball to catch, especially as a high schooler. If you can, you're approximately All-American.
Look at number 81 at the bottom of your screen. Is that a big boy or what?
Yeah, that's JT Whitman. And yes, their entire receiving corps is very large, with the exception of Fleet, who's about as big as me.
But he's fast. So looks like they're going to throw it right over the middle to number 11. He gets a hand on it. That's Celentino. That's going to be an incomplete pass and bring up another 4th down.
That's right. Good job of the Vikings defense. 3 possessions in a row now, bringing up a punting situation for DeWitt.
But you know what? Those drop passes on that last possession that really gave the Vikings the ball. Well, I don't know if they're going to go for it or not. I think they have.
I don't see Van Dremel in the huddle, so
I don't either.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, no, he's not in there.
You don't see him. You're not seeing him.
No, I don't. I was looking and I didn't see number 5.
You second guess yourself there for a second, Brandon.
Well, you know, we have to do every once in a while.
Yeah. 1 minute and 21 seconds left on the clock. Just enough time for Hazlitt to possibly go down the field. That's going to be a line drive right toward Austin Nelson. And he's going to try to take this up the field. He finds a seam, just a little seam. He did cover the ball, and he gets over the
Hang on, man. Take your time.
That'll be right down to the 20-yard line. I believe that's Andrew Izzo right on the spot. We call him Johnny on the spot. Not really, but he was on the spot that time.
And this game is dedicated to Mark Cotter. He's been with the Vision for quite a while.
Well, he's been with the Vision for only 2 years because we became the Vision just 2 years ago. But with this program, TV25 and the Vision for as long, I think, as it's been around.
Yeah.
And our wishes go out to Mark. And we do miss him terribly, but we have great people now taking over for him on camera up here in the booth with us. And he's a great man, but 1:09 left in the half. And split back.
Yep. And look at how many people are in that box.
They stack it.
And oh, it's a fumbled ball.
And that's going to be another fumble recovery
for
DeWitt. 3 turnovers, Tony, for the Vikings, or is it 4?
3. Well, interception.
I think it's fumble. 4. 5 right there now.
Yeah, 5. Yep,
because I think they've gotten 4.
No, 4.
You're right, 4. That's just not good. A fumbled snap is exactly what you don't need ever.
Especially at the 20-yard line. 1 minute, 5 seconds, especially when your defense was having a really good, showing.
And you got Celentino at the top of your screen.
28-12, DeWitt, and they're going to look to score right here. Every time they've been down here, Brandon, what has it been?
They have scored.
What has it been?
It's been 7.
So they're going to pass it with some pretty good pressure right here. Number 60 is on the run, but looks like Fleet's going to get the ball, and the clock will still run. Second down and about 3.
And that's a fitting name for that young man, I think. Fleet, sounds fast. He is fast.
Yeah. So here it is, DeWitt going back into the spread formation. Van Drummel going to run to his side. He's going to take this straight up the middle, but it looks like Mike Hilker's going to grab his jersey, bring him down for a no gain.
I will tell you what, these linebackers are absolutely stellar. Hilker's showing great discipline and watching Van Drummel with his eyes and adjusting his weight to make sure that he made the tackle on that play.
20 seconds and counting. 3rd down right
Blismer
here.
in the backfield.
And they're going to hand it right off to Blismer, and he's going to take this to the outside. Ben Rizzo going to trip him up, and he got out of bounds, says the official, nearest to him. So 11.6 seconds on the clock.
And that's going to be first and goal. I think you're just going to go to the air a couple times, and I think they're going to try to run a route out of the backfield into the corner of the end zone.
DeWitt has no timeouts. 1st and 5, or 1st and goal. They're on the 5-yard line. Van Drummel gets a high snap. He brings it down, looking downfield. Great coverage, and he's been hit by James Williams for the sack. That's going to be the end of this first half, excuse me.
So Hazlitt holding DeWitt to 28 points. Most of those coming in the beginning of the second quarter, but they stepped up to play defense late in the second quarter. And the score going into the half is 28-12. Not the score the Vikings were looking for, but still very much in this ball game. Getting momentum back on their side going into the locker room. Holding DeWitt inside their own 20-yard line. DeWitt at the 4. James Williams getting the sack on Dan Van Dremel. And those two, I believe, are mortal enemies because of the history that they have on the football field.
All right, so what do you take from this first half, I guess, Brandon?
What I take from this first half is that DeWitt obviously showed that they are, honestly, even though we are on the vision, a better football team. I think so. And that they are dangerous, and they showed exactly what we thought they would show with Fleet and Celentino, but not being quite as big of threats as we thought they were going to be, and really getting it done on the ground with Blisner and also with Thompson and Grice all on the ground. And here's a replay of that last play. You see Williams coming up right there, bearing down, and actually got a pretty good stick on Van Dremel. Hit him right in the chest with his face mask.
Yeah. That's a nice hit.
That's a nice message to send to DeWitt right at halftime, saying that we are not out of this game and we will come after you.
Yeah. You know what? A number that stands out to me is I think it was 5 times
Five.
that Hazlitt stopped DeWitt. The last 5 possessions, they've stopped DeWitt from getting into
5
the
is a
end
big
zone.
number in this game, Tony.
Yeah.
5 defensive stops, 5 turnovers for the Vikings. The reason why DeWitt's offense has scored so many points, I think, and 5, yes, the number of Dan Van Dremel. And with that, the Vikings still very much in this ball game, but we're going to send it to commercial at halftime, and we'll be back after this. Halftime.
Hey, gang.
Dude, where are your spirit clothes? Hey guys, I got my spirit stuff. The game's been over for an hour.
Don't miss out on showing off your spirit. Visit the Viking Village.
Experience. Viking, what is your profession? This was one of the many wonderful performances taken from these 300. We will hope that you enjoy. Viking Marching Band and the 8th grade band. Let's conclude the combined performance with Maybe Some Weather.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Viking Stadium. We're coming to you live from the biggest game of the year for everyone in Hazlet. It's the Hazlet-DeWitt rivalry game, the annual slugfest that almost always determines the conference champion of the CAAC 3 and now gold. And this is, in fact, the championship game. Hazlet looking to upset DeWitt here. However, they are down 28-12, but still very much in this ball game. And Tony, what's your take on that first half?
Well, I think here, before I say that, I want to say the Hufster Trivia question of the week. When was the last time that Hazlet or DeWitt lost at home against each other? We said it earlier in the game, but right now what we want to do is give it out to all the viewers right here. You can win a copy of tonight's game. If you call in with the first person who calls in with the right answer, you see below there is the phone number to call. And if you say what the answer is, you will get a free copy of tonight's game.
And yes, it must be the correct answer, not just any answer you cannot say. Back in 1942 was the last time that they lost at home, because I will assure you it was more recently than that. In fact, they only started playing each other in 1994. So pretty much in terms of longer history, a very recent rivalry, but certainly I would say the best and most heated rivalry in the area. But, Tony, getting back to our original point, what's your take on that first half?
Well, my take on that first half is that Hazlet Hazlet had 4 turnovers, and they're still in the game. I mean, you know what I mean? They are still in this game, and I think that they can, win the game if they play better. They cannot have those turnovers like they did earlier.
Absolutely, and I think, that DeWitt has played very disciplined football as well. They've taken advantage of turnovers that Hazlet has made. I think they've scored on 5 turnovers. I think they've scored off of 3 of them, and that's how they got so many points. And they got turnovers inside of Hazlet's own territory, and when they didn't, they were able to drive down the field, get the ball through the air to Celentino or Fleet. Those are their main 2 targets. This has been the case all season. And they've just played good football. I mean, they've shown that they are of superior caliber. And I hate saying that on the air on our school station, but it's true. They're a superior team to Hazlet, but that doesn't mean that Hazlet can't beat them. Crazier things have happened.
Let's talk about some stats, coming into this game. Luke Magnuson right now, 53 yards.
And a turnover.
And a turnover, but let's focus on the 53 yards and a touchdown that he had.
Yeah, and let's also focus on the fact that DeWitt has 5 different rushers. That's right, 5. They don't normally rush that many as far as I know, and that hasn't really been their strong suit this year, but rushing for not too many yards, but more than the Vikings would have liked to give up, especially this team that's very air it out, dominant kind of style, spread offense. So Van Dremel, however, speaking of the pass, 121 yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 for 19, just a little under 50% on his throwing. And 3 receivers so far with catches, Fleet with 4, Celentino with 3. And Fleet has a touchdown and 72 yards on the evening. And Tony, I'm going to let you take over the Hazlitt stats for the rest. And Duncan actually looking pretty good on the passing stats.
2 for 3, 90 yards, had a touchdown, but also had that interception, and that's just the lack of experience. I think the more that he plays, he won't make that stupid pass and have that interception. I mean, this is a good team, and, Hadley, 1 reception, 73 yards for that touchdown.
And also
How big
another.
was that? How big was that?
It was huge. It really was kind of a touchdown that got this team back into the game. And as we get back into the game, Tony, it looks like it's going to be a very exciting half. I think that the coaching staff of the Vikings really got this team probably fired up, and they looked fired up as they came out of the tunnel. And I think we're in for a great football game in the second half.
I think so, too.
R.J. Kelly warming up with Reggie Duncan on the sideline, and here comes the kickoff to the second half of the 2007 Hazlitt DeWitt rivalry game.
Number 10, Matt Jimerson deep for the Panthers.
Jimerson deep to receive the kick. Magnuson in to kick it off once again. I would assume that he's going to go squib kick it. I wouldn't be surprised to see him kick it deep. Has a touchback tonight, but that will be a squib kick. That's going to go to number 23. That's the running back. And he's going to cut it upfield for some yards, and he'll get to the 40-yard line of DeWitt. And that's going to start the second half.
So there you have it right there. DeWitt going to get the ball, pretty good field position, and you're going to see this Hazlitt defense come out. And I think they played very well before.
And one thing that as we look on the field on this camera show, as we look in the monitor, fuller stands than we've seen all season here at Viking Stadium for the opposing team. And as we mentioned, this is a huge rivalry. Everyone from both towns comes out to this game to cheer their teams on and hopefully see the other one get a smackdown laid on them. So Van Dremel will be under center. Blisner in the backfield, and he will not give up to Blisner. He's going to take it upfield for himself, and Bowser misses the tackle. Williams is going to try to chase him down all the way downfield. Van Dremel's got some legs on him, and he will not score. He'll be down at the 7-yard line.
And thanks for taking that for me, Brandon. Someone just called in with the Husker trivia question. Got it right, and we'll have that name for you in just a few minutes. My colleague over here getting the name, address, and all that good stuff right now. So
excellent.
So it has been answered, and we want to thank you for watching.
So congratulations, you lucky winner, you. And we have a name right here. It looks like Leanne Norton. Congratulations to you for getting that one right. Obviously, you follow your Hazlitt football, and we obviously appreciate that. So thanks for participating in the first ever Husker Trivia Question giveaway, and you'll get a free copy of tonight's game as DeWitt will hand off.
Straight up the middle with Cody Grice.
Number 8, Cody Grice, the blocker. Stopped by number 60, J.D. Parker. Ball's on the Vikings 3-yard line.
So 2nd and goal now for the Vikings.
Has it on their 3-yard line, or DeWitt on the 3-yard line right here.
Now that was a big run by Van Dremel just a couple plays ago.
Yeah.
And a good ball fake to Blisner. And the defense bit, and they need to play a little more disciplined than that.
They have been playing discipline this whole game, and they go straight up the middle.
That's a great defensive play.
Was that Cody Grice or Blisner, Brandon?
It looked to me to be Cody Grice, number 8, getting the ball once again up the middle. And he'll be stopped short. So 3rd down and goal coming up now. Another big defensive series for the Vikings coming up here. And DeWitt obviously is going to try to score on this opening drive in the second half. 10:45 left in the third quarter. So time ticking off quickly. A lot of only runs actually so far for DeWitt.
Yeah, do you think they'll pass right here? Or do you think they're just going to keep on going up?
They've been doing well on the ground, and it appears to me as though Van Dremel's going to be going under center once again with split backs. That's
looks like a little miscommunication on the field right now. But nevertheless, they're going to go into the desired play.
Grice and Blisner in the backfield.
Looked like it was bobbled for a second, and that was a great hit. But Van Dremmel's going to get into the end zone anyway, so that brings up
Another score
Yeah,
for the
another
Vikings.
score
For DeWitt, excuse me. As much as I wish it was the Vikings, it is DeWitt once again. And just looking dominant, made it look so easy marching down the field, and that was really a work of Van Dremel getting the long carry and the touchdown for himself. We'll see the special teams come in to kick the extra point.
Not what you want to see. So the extra point is up. It looks like it's going to be good, and it is. So 35-12, DeWitt and Brandon. Not exactly what you want to see.
Well, Tony, the Vikings have been down by this deficit before earlier in the game. They came back to play great defense, and that's the first drive in 5 drives that the Vikings have let the Panthers score.
Yep.
And the offense is going to try to look to get the ball, get it down the field, and score some touchdowns. The defense needs to keep doing what they were doing at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, but I think the offense, like you said, needs to get into the end zone.
Touchdown, 2-yard run.
You know what I mean? I mean, they need to get some points on the board. You don't get points on the board, I'm sorry, you can't win a game.
You know, as obvious as that sounds, you are absolutely correct. You cannot win a game if you don't score points. You can make all the defensive stops you want, but if you don't put the ball in the end zone, you got nothing. And this is not a lost cause. This is very much still a winnable game for the Vikings if they can shut down DeWitt, figure something out, fire up, and play football the way that we know they can play, and play with the heart of steel that they are so famous for.
And a point I want to bring out before this kick, Hazlitt has like fumbled the ball, muffed, whatever you want to call it, every single time the ball has been in the air, kicking wise. So let's see if they can just grab that ball once and for all. It's going to go to Greg Edwards, and no, he won't. But except for that's a pretty good catch for him, and he finds a seam. He's going to go straight up the middle. He gets about 10 yards on that return, and that's exactly what you want to see for Hazlitt on special teams.
And, you know, we know Edwards has hands. He's got a 17-yard reception earlier in the game, and that was on the Vikings' first drive, which was a scoring drive. They did draw first blood 2 games in a row now against DeWitt. The last time in the playoffs they scored, and they were up 7-6 at halftime. However, they lost that game. About the same score that's on the board right now. But they'll try to change that and keep history going.
So here it is. Hazlitt. You're going to see the first time in the wing T formation. And they're going to hand it straight up the middle. Looks like to Luke Magnuson. He gets about 4 yards. And so that's a good first play.
Yeah, decent gain. See him take over on second down.
Stop by number 2, Nick Wara.
So 9 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock. 35-12. Hazlitt desperately needs to get into the end zone right now, and it's only the second play, but nevertheless, just you still feel that anxiety right now.
You sure do. And 9:38 left in the third quarter. This game seems like the second half's going to go a lot quicker if they keep running the ball the way that each team is running it.
So here we go. Duncan under center, going to hold on to it for himself, and he's going to throw that up to Greg Edwards. He catches that, gets the first down, and there was coverage, and I think Duncan kind of thread the needle, not really, intentionally, but he still did it.
Yeah, I think that sometimes it's better lucky than good. You know what I'm saying, Tony? And I think that time he was extremely lucky that Greg had tunnel vision on the ball and brought it all the way in regardless of the 3 defenders around him, and Duncan got away with one there.
And it looked like he almost could have gotten a huge shot from the DeWitt defense, but they just kind of went under him, didn't really hit him, so he was able to catch that ball and hold on to it. So let's see if Hazlitt will do another pass play. They're going to hand it straight up the middle to Luke Magnuson, and he gets about 4 yards, and they like going to Luke Magnuson on first down.
Well, I think it's a safe play, too, as long as he keeps his hands on the ball and keeps it safe. I mean, he generally gets anywhere from 3 to 5 yards every single time he touches the ball on first down. So it's a good, safe play to go to him, and then you can get to plays like, I don't want to say that last one because, let's be honest, it wasn't a great play. They just got lucky. But, you know, the swing pass to Edwards, the pass to Hadley, actually it was a desperation pass again by Duncan, but it was a great play. So we'll see what they do here. Another split back formation. Hadley out by the tight end.
Duncan under center. He's going to hand it up to Tony Taylor, and he's just going to try to find a cutback lane. He doesn't. He gets a yard, though. But when you watch Tony Taylor, he's very calm and collected. He gets the ball and looks for that seam. He has great vision, and he saw that right there, and it just seemed like there wasn't that big of a hole for him to exploit.
Yeah, and he really kept his focus well on that play, and he kept the ball he kept the ball protected and didn't let them force a fumble, regardless of how many DeWitt defenders were on top of him. So third down now, big third down and 7.
This is a way big third down right here for the Hazlitt offense. Duncan under center. Looks like they're going to hand it straight up the middle to Luke Magnuson. He has a cutback lane. Eric Hadley had a great block, allowed Luke Magnuson to get another 5 yards. That's a first down, Hazlitt.
And that's a wonderful first down. On the third down and 7, one of the most crucial plays so far in this quarter, either side of the ball. And they really pulled through there. Luke got hit, spun the opposite direction out toward the DeWitt stands and found he had open field everywhere. And kudos to Hadley, who's a smart running back, and had his fundamentals going for him that time, kept his fake going, and made a big block and sprung Magnuson for an extra probably 5 or 6 yards.
That's a great point. That's a great point you just brought up, that he kept his fake the whole time.
And that's what this offense is built on.
So here it is. Duncan going to hand it off to keep on saying RJ Kelly, but it's Eric Hadley. And he's going to take that up for about 3 yards. And you saw him right there hit the
We got a replay coming up here, that Magnuson run just 2 plays ago, keeping this drive alive.
You see
Magnuson spinning right there. That's a good block by Nathan Paul. Just started last week, and he's a junior, but a lot of the guys say that he could including Coach O, says that he's probably the most ripped guy on the team.
Yeah.
And I've lifted weights with him before, and yes, he is extremely ripped. And he's playing well at guard. So
6 minutes and 35 seconds left in this third quarter. Duncan under center, little miscommunication. He's going to take that to the outside. He makes one guy miss. He has a couple blockers upfield, but number 8, Cody Grice, is going to take him out of bounds. I believe Hazlitt gets the first down right there. So help me out here.
Well, Tony, with 6:23 left in the game, Hazlitt is driving and putting together what looks to be a pretty dominating effort on the line, and that's really what they need to do, is win the battle up front. That's always been the key to the game, regardless if we say it in pregame or not.
And the word I was looking for right there was Duncan. A little bit of improv right there. You know, a little miscommunication between him and his running backs, and decides to take it to the outside, and his running backs had the thought to go and block up field.
Well, when you were watching that play, too, he sprung it to the outside, and there was blue shirts everywhere.
Yeah.
And they were blocking for him, and so that sprung up for a nice 12-yard gain. So first down, Vikings, and here we come.
Vikings on the 30-yard line. They're going to fake hand it off, and Greg Edwards out into the flats. There's nobody out there. They basically had that play-action pass pretty good, but just slipped right through his hands. That's going to be a second down, Brandon.
Yeah, that had big play written all over it, at least a first down, if not more. But I'd say more than anything else, just a more or less poorly thrown ball right over his shoulder.
I think that was actually Greg Edwards' fault. I think he needs to catch that ball, and I mean, he can take that for a touchdown right there.
Yeah. Nevertheless, it is second down and 10 yards to go.
But I like the play call right there.
DeWitt 29-yard line. Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Iluski's called a great game so far.
So here it is. Reggie Duncan under center. Looks like he's going to hold on to it for himself. He's going to take that to the outside. There's a couple DeWitt guys right there, and it looked like miscommunication in the backfield yet again.
I think it's just the thing that he's down 35-12, and it's the biggest game of his varsity career thus far. And, you know, I think he's just young and inexperienced, but he's been playing well so far. I think as well as we can expect him to play. We hope he play a little bit better. But third down 13, nevertheless, is the upcoming down. Another big third down for the Vikings. They were able to convert last time on a big run. So we'll see what they do here.
DeWitt basically putting 11 guys in the box. And like you said, when you have 11 guys in the box, you can pass it almost anywhere you want to. I think Hazlitt's going to take a timeout right here just to think this huge third down over.
So, Tony, with 6:12 left in the game, I think you can certainly make it.
Quarter.
Excuse me, in the quarter. Yes, if it were the game, I think it'd be pretty much a lost cause. But nevertheless, we are on timeout, and we are going to take a timeout as well. But when we come back, we'll have third down and 13. We'll be right back.
I'm Brandon Manson. You may have seen me with Tony Huff on Friday nights providing commentary for the football team. We volunteer for the Vision 22, not just because we have fun, but for the greater good of the community. There are many volunteer opportunities at the Vision, and we're always looking for people to help. Volunteer at the Vision.
And the teams will take the field on this 3rd down and 13 for the Vikings. 35-12 is the score on this great rivalry game. Always has been a great game, and I think the score doesn't really reflect how the game's been played. Great defense at the end of the second half, or the end of the first half for the Vikings, but they'll be on offense right now.
Duncan under center, going to hand it off to, Eric Hadley. He's going to have someone deep. I think there's pass interference right there.
Easily.
And they're not going to call that, so it's going to be 4th down.
If you're a Vikings fan, you're pretty mad about that, but here's the deal, Tony. 4th down, and you're on the 32-yard line, 33-yard line. This is 4-down territory, my friend.
Oh, yeah. And
without a doubt. And one would hope that's what Coach Atluski's thinking, too. But
he's talking to Reggie Duncan right there, so it looks like they're going to go.
Yep, and taking Tony Taylor out of the game for this play, give him a little breather. But Hadley still in the backfield, and we will see the spread offense of the Haslett Vikings for the grand total of the 2nd time this game.
So this is a big play right here. 6:05 on the clock. Duncan in spread formation. He's going to go back. There's a blitz, and he throws that. That's a good pass to R.J. Kelly, and he drops it. That was a great pass by Duncan, throwing it in the pocket, and R.J. Kelly hit him in the numbers.
And really taking the hit well did Duncan, and R.J. just not quite able to reel that one in. And one would make an argument that he made the catch, but in the MHSAA there is no replay, and that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Vikings.
If he made the catch, he would have fumbled it. So
there's nothing you can say
and
bad.
There's Brian.
We thought he was working, but clearly he's in the stands enjoying this game.
More or less.
And, you know, you can't complain about the call there. That was a great call. It was the right call. It just didn't work.
So if this Haslett defense can stop DeWitt, I think they have a shot at coming back in this game.
They have favorable field position.
So here it is. Van Drummel out there. He's going to hand it off to Cody Gright. Is that Thompson?
I do believe that is Thompson. He will take it up the middle for a few yards.
So crowd kind of quiet right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much for them to cheer about, but there is an injury on the field. That's going to be number 62, and that's Joseph Ashi. And he'll be down, and he looks like he's in pain, a lot of pain. And that's the 2nd game in a row that we've seen an injury. The last one to the quarterback last week from Charlotte.
C.J. May.
C.J. May had a great season coming in. Yeah, he was having a good game, and I think it would have been a lot closer had he still been in the game.
It was still
especially the way
game.
that they were playing last week, but that's neither here nor there. That is in the past. This is the present. This is the Haslett DeWitt game. And unfortunately, the reality is you want to take every break that you can get if you're the Vikings right now. 35-12, but it's still a ball game. You're fighting to prove to everyone that it is a ball game, that you're not going to be submissive to this DeWitt team. And that's the way that it's really been made out to be in the area. I think the local media has always made DeWitt out to be the better team this year and last year, but definitely not the year before, because that was Matt Dremmel's sophomore year, and that was the year the Vikings went to Ford Field. But you're going to want to take every break you can get. And unfortunately, this could be one for the Vikings, and I think he's just cramping up there.
So
there's the cheerleaders on their knee, always sportsmanlike.
So 5:45 left on the clock. Player's still down.
And as we wait to see the outcome of this injury, we're going to throw it to commercial. We'll be right back. And good news from that injury. He is up and walking off the field under his own power. and we're glad to see that he is okay. And Hazlitt will take over on defense. It's 2nd down and 6, and so far been a pretty ugly second half for the Vikings. And they were driving and not quite able to complete a pass to R.J. Kelly.
That's too bad. And let's throw it back down to the field, where Van Drummel is going to throw that, just a little outs pattern. But look at Bosma right there, and he gets the wide receiver gets a couple yards, but still good open field tackle right there.
Yep, and that'll bring up 3rd down and about 3 to go. And really, you got to give props to this Hazlitt defense. They've really shut down DeWitt's 2 main threats in Fleet and Celentino. Fleet just 1 touchdown, and there was nothing you could really do about that. He did what Fleet does, and he got behind the cornerback, and he was gone after that. You're not going to catch him. And Van Drummel just completing passes right and left because he's a great quarterback, and that's what great quarterbacks do.
Big 3rd down right here. 3rd and 2 to be exact. 5:03. You're going to hand it straight up to Blessinger.
And just for the record, I do believe that's Blisner.
Blisner, excuse me.
It's all right.
You know, sometimes I make names up.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Anything that helps you cope.
Yeah, exactly. You
really.
know, I got to go word from word. So, you know, Blessinger.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I respect that.
But a good stop by this Hazlitt defense.
Regardless of Blessinger or Blisner's name, whoever it was, he did not get enough for the 1st down. So Hazlitt line up to receive a punt, and hopefully this time they'll get something more going on offense and take it into the end zone for a score, and perhaps get the momentum swinging enough where they can come back and win this game.
This defense has played very well, and it's just the turnovers that have put the defense in really bad field position. Looks like Austin Nelson is going to take this to the other side of the field, and he just goes straight into a defensive player, but he gets to the 35-yard line.
It's a nice about 15-yard return by Austin Nelson.
And good field position for this.
So that's a good way to start your offensive drive, and we'll see what they can make of it from their own 35-yard line. Decent field position for the Vikings. Let's see if they can work it.
They haven't been able to work it the whole game, though. They've had 2 big plays.
That's Austin Nelson limping off the field, and we hope he's okay. He's been a big-time playmaker for this team.
Yes, he has. On special teams and defense. I wonder if it's a cramp or something. That's
Probably. I
what it
mean,
looks like.
the last player had a cramp too, so.
It's hot out, so.
It is. It's a very uncharacteristically warm night in Michigan, October 5th.
And they're going to hand it off. It's going to be another fumble.
And I believe Hazlitt recovered this one.
Oh, my gosh.
Fumbles everywhere. You know, one of these times, though, they may try to pull a Michigan State and pull a fumble-rooski and hit their Kellen Davis and R.J. Kelly and get a touchdown over the middle.
I don't know. I think this DeWitt defense is pretty sharp, to say the least.
I don't know if they've ever seen a fumble-rooski, especially not against Hazlitt. That's I mean, I'm not saying they're going to run that play because Coach O, I don't think, would do that, but.
I don't think he would either.
Yeah, you can hope, though. That'd be pretty cool. I don't think they'd let. Oh, Tony Taylor.
Tony Taylor as the quarterback.
Hey, what's with that?
Look at that. Not liking what 11 Duncan was doing, so he's going to give it to Tony Taylor. Tony Taylor has a guy wide open downfield, and he can't throw it. That's going to be incomplete.
Pass.
27 wide open down the field.
Yeah, and that's
that's
number 27, Mason Alexander.
The new tight end.
Another big 6'5" tight end, just like R.J. Kelly taking over for the injured Jay Twitchell this week.
Yep, but Tony Taylor was under a lot of distress right there, so.
Yeah, I mean, not a smart pass, but at least it wasn't intercepted, so we got 3rd down and long to go, 3rd down and 12 to be exact.
3 minutes and 16 seconds left in this 3rd quarter.
And if you're a Vikings fan, you were just hoping that you can get something and, you know.
Yeah. So here we go. They need to have just one big play right here to get the momentum and get the crowd back into this game. So it looks like it's going to be a reverse to Eric Hadley. He's going to take this to the outside. He gets the 1st down and some. Well, it's going to be really close to that 1st down where the official marked it.
And Hadley looking for a personal foul on that play. Knocked out of bounds the first time and hit again. And we'll see where they spot this ball. But it's a 1st down, and that is a good play for the Vikings. Not quite your big play you're looking for, but that's Eric Hadley stepping up and making plays. I'm surprised the way that he ran in the first half and the way he just ran right there. They haven't called his number more in this game. Probably trying to make sure they don't injure that knee because a big game next week against LCC. But I think if you're going to win this game, you got to get Hadley more touches.
3:09 left in the third quarter. Tony Taylor under center. He's going to hand it off to Eric Hadley.
And that's a
big
time fumble.
And wow, this is very uncharacteristic of this Hazlitt team, fumbling it so many times.
This is bewildering. I'm not sure what's going on. And it's just surprising to see them fumble the ball. This is, I think, probably the most times they've fumbled in a game, probably 5 or 6-fold at least the entire season, and I'm not sure what's going on. You know, I think that you look on the sideline, and Austin Nelson's still down with a cramp or probably a more serious injury. He's not quite up yet, and he is having a hard time. But this entire sideline and inside of the crowd is just, they're looking down.
Yeah, they are. And that's putting it nicely. You can see the crowd out there looking for something to cheer for. And Agugwa Okafor gets a huge hit on Van Drummel, but he throws it down to Fleet, who is streaking, and that's going to be another touchdown, and that might be the proverbial nail in the coffin.
Yep, that might do it, folks. I'm sure whatever wind Hazlitt had in their sails, unfortunately, I think has been taken out by that touchdown. And, you know, Okafor and Houghton both getting a big hit on Van Drummel. He came off the field quite slowly. I don't know if you saw, but he looked a little shaken up on that play, like he was seeing stars. They hit him pretty hard. Those are two big guys, but Fleet with that reception and the touchdown, I think you're right. That could be the proverbial nail in the coffin.
And it's going to be a missed bobbled snap. He's going to throw this anyway. It is caught. There's a whole bunch of Vikings right there, so he'll be tackled. 41-12 with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left in this third quarter.
So pretty disappointing.
One play, covered 44 yards with 7 seconds off the clock.
You know, there's not much you can say after that. I mean, just, I guess this year DeWitt has lived up to all the hype. It's not even the end of the third quarter, 2:55 left in the third, and DeWitt's already up 41-12.
And all their points seem to come off of turnovers.
That's it. That's all it's been.
Except for the opening drive in the second half. And I think maybe one drive before that. It's been turnovers.
Yeah.
That have killed the Vikings.
And it's nothing that the defense can, that, you know, this defense has played, I don't think quite up to their potential, but as well as I think they can play in this game. You know, and the offense just has not been able to get anything going, and that's been the story all season. They've gotten away with some close victories, but not against a team like this.
So DeWitt going to kick this ball off. It's going to be a squib kick.
Will roll out of bounds, so the Vikings will get a favor there. They'll start from their own 35-yard line. At least they're going to try to put some more points up on the board and at least lose with some dignity if they're going to lose. I'm not calling this game over yet, Tony. I mean, you're never going to – I know you just gave me that look, and I kind of agree with you, but I don't think you can call this team quite down for the count yet. It's a big-time game. And
just to inform everyone, Reggie Duncan just checked back into the game as quarterback. So maybe he got a little dinged up. And Tony
giving
Taylor
him some
had
rest,
to
and I think maybe he's a little rattled inside that cage there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think this whole team is really rattled. They've never really been in this position all year.
And a pretty disappointing sight on the...
Yep, they're going to hand it straight up the middle to Greg Edwards. He gets 3 yards.
But
and that's going to be
I don't know if you saw on the monitor there, but a shot of the student section. One student wearing a paper bag over their face with Wing T written on it. Pretty disappointing sight. It's pretty disappointing because, you know what? I think a lot of the students came into this game pretty faithless. I think they did. They came into this game thinking we're going to lose, and they're not even going to cheer. I went down there at halftime, and those some of the senior girls were really trying to get the crowd pumped up, and they just couldn't do it. They were out of this game before it even started.
Duncan under center, going to hand it off straight up the middle, and DeWitt's just going to snuff that out.
So third down coming up here for the Vikings. Again, just trying to make some plays.
2 minutes and counting in this third quarter. Not a lot to say.
Third down.
Normally when we have nothing to say, it's generally coming from over this side of the field that the score is in favor of the home team when we're broadcasting, and to blow out 41-12 on Hazlitt's side. But this DeWitt team has just been dominant.
They're a well-oiled machine, to say the least.
So 3rd down and 9 coming up here. 3rd down and 8, excuse me.
1 minute and 30 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. Duncan under center, goes on a hard count. He's going to hold on to this ball, and he's going to pass. He has someone down the field. Actually, he didn't have anybody.
That'll be a pass
flag.
interference. And that's a giant favor from the ref, but I think that was
that's
also
a makeup call.
That's definitely a makeup
that
call,
has to be
I
a
think.
makeup call. That was great protection. I'm sorry. You know, I like to see that call, but that was a terrible call. We don't like to beat up the refs too much here, you know, when we do telecast. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's not something that we try to do, but sometimes you just got to do it because, I mean, there's nothing else you can do. Sometimes you just see a call that you don't agree with.
Maybe we can get a replay or something to see if there was some holding or something.
Yeah,
Maybe clear up that last call.
Who cares? Hasn't got a break.
Yeah, who cares? But I still want to see
I know.
the correct call.
Well, you can watch the telecast when it airs again at 11 o'clock.
I think I might. 1 minute and 22 seconds left on the clock. Duncan under center, and it's going to be a reverse to Tony Taylor. He should have taken it outside, and wow, he's wrapped up, and he's going to be thrown back.
And this Vikings team just looks deflated.
They're not believing in themselves.
Something needs to happen a minute and 2 seconds from now. When they go to the sideline in the 4th quarter, they need to at least leave with some dignity. They need to dig down deep and find out what they're made of. I'm not cussing this team out. I'm not going to do that. But they just need to find what they're made of and just come out and play with everything they've got. They need to leave this game not only physically tired but emotionally tired. They need to play with every ounce of energy and heart that they have.
And for some, this is the last Hazlitt-DeWitt game that they will be playing in their careers. As Duncan goes back to throw, he's under duress, and he will be sacked by 2. Count them, 2 DeWitt players. That's going to bring up.
Well, the good news is it's now 3rd down, which means that they got one more play to get something going. And Reggie's looking pretty rattled right now. I'm not even sure if he knows where he is. But he will remain in the game. It looks like they're putting in some second stringers, trying to get him some PT. Josh Moulton coming in the game.
And that's going to go to the 4th quarter right now, Brandon. DeWitt 41, Hazlitt 12. Hazlitt has the ball. It's going to be a 3rd down and 19. So I think they're going to go for 4th down, so maybe get 10 yards here and then 9 yards in the next play. Or
you got really nothing to lose here, Tony. You really got nothing to lose. So anything could happen right now. I think they're just going to, a good coaching call would be to keep your first stringers in for the 4th quarter. I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, Tony.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you're wearing the realist hat tonight, and I've switched hats with you, and I'm wearing the optimist once again because I always do. And I've seen crazier things happen. I'm not sure if it's tonight, but I have seen crazier things happen. And
well, the weather, for one, it's been pretty crazy, so maybe another crazy thing could happen.
Sure.
Could be for foreshadowing. Here, let's take a second and listen to this drum line.
And we'll go to commercial. We'll be right back with the 4th quarter.
Third down, 19.
And we're back on 3rd down and 19. Reggie Duncan in the spread formation.
He's going to go back. Sees a couple guys, and he's not passing the ball. He has R.J. Kelly. R.J. Kelly catches the ball, so there's your 10 yards.
Gets a pretty generous spot from the official. And you got 4th and about 7 to go, Tony. I don't see why not. Just go for it.
Yeah, I need to get something going for this Hazlitt offense.
And it seems like
going to go back to the spread, possibly.
Very possible.
Reggie Duncan gets the instructions from Coach O, and he will go and tell his troops.
And this DeWitt crowd and the team pretty fired up, looking like they got this one in the bag. Any moderately educated person would agree with that, and anyone sane enough would agree with that as well. I, however, am crazy
And uneducated.
And uneducated.
All right, here we go. Duncan back to pass. He sees a guy open downfield. Number 20 going up for that. That's going to be intercepted.
And that could be it, Tony.
And yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. 41-12.
With 11:02 left in the fourth quarter, Tony Huff will call the game.
I'll stay. I'll watch this game because I love Hazlitt, but it's just
and that was
it's sad.
Seems to me to be a last-ditch effort to get some momentum going, and the ball underthrown as Reggie flushed out of the pocket.
He's been flushed out of the pocket the whole game.
You know, I expected to see a much more defensive battle, and I think DeWitt has played great football on both sides of the ball.
But at the same time, the Hazlitt offense has not put the defense in good position. You know what I mean? I mean, DeWitt has had amazing field position this whole game.
Yeah, I mean,
and this is an explosive offense that you cannot.
Yeah, you can't blame the defense for letting up 41 points. I mean, someone has to go to them, but.
And see, look at there.
Nice
hit. This defense has not given up.
No,
the offense has.
They're the heart of this team. They're the heart and soul of this team is this defense. They're the stingiest defense in the era, I still believe. Giving up all those points is not good, but it's not like they can help it. DeWitt started 4 drives inside, more than 4, inside the 40-yard line of Hazlitt.
Way more than 4, Brandon. Way more than 4. There's been fumbles galore, interceptions. I mean, everything you can think of just has not gone Hazlitt's way.
And we hate to say that. We hate to say that this is probably it for the Hazlitt DeWitt 2007.
This could possibly be home field advantage gone for the playoffs. I mean, they'll make the playoffs.
Oh, I think so too.
Assuming that they beat LCC and
LCC is no joke. Those two teams are no jokes of a team, but I think Hazlitt's better than that.
Absolutely not. Okemos actually having a pretty good rebound season after, I think, winning 1 game last year or something like that.
Yeah, they played very well. 4-2 right now, and I'm not sure who they're playing tonight, but I think they'll make the playoffs this year as well, but I think Hazlitt's better than LCC and Okemos both, and they should win those games, but this game just been a very disappointing offensive effort. Defensively, I guess, when they weren't in their own territory, 20 yards outside of their own end zone, they played very good defense. And I think they play great defense inside their own red zone. I don't know, Tony. I don't know.
10:43 left in this game. 41-12, DeWitt. And first string still out there for DeWitt.
And I think that's what Zimmer wants. I don't think he'd normally do that at this point, but it's the Hazlitt DeWitt game, and you want to run up the score on these guys. Why wouldn't you? Why would you not run up the score ridiculously on your hated rival?
That's true. That is true. Van Dremel back. He's going to fake the run, and Williams comes up with a huge sack, so it's going to be 3rd down. There's a guy who hasn't given up.
No, James Williams, I think, plays with more heart than almost anyone on that team. He is a leader on that defense, and he's had several tackles on Van Dremel tonight. I talked to him earlier today, actually, and he said that he was singling out Van Dremel and he was going to jack him up. And he sent a message in there.
He's done it. He's done it the whole game. Tackled him, you know what I mean? Had that big hit before the half.
Yeah.
For the end of the first half. Van Dremel back. He has 2 running backs in the backfield with him. And it's going to be a bobbled snap. Could be a safety right here, or a touchdown. And Williams gets on it. That's a touchdown for Hazlitt. That's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Hey, that's exactly what they ordered. And, take it as they come, but there's the defense with a defensive touchdown. And that's proving that this defense, although a bungled snap, regardless, the defense recovers in the end zone, and that's great. And I think you're going to see, hopefully, a made extra point this time, and that's really, I think, what's killed this team.
I think they're going to go for 2. I saw Coach O hold up 2, so try to get to 20 points, and then it'd be a 21-point game. I know that's,
Yeah, well,
you got to give the fans
3 touchdowns.
Something to,
3 touchdowns is not out of the question at all.
I almost said before that Hazlitt needed to get a turnover. Well, there you go. That's the best turnover you can get when the defense scores 6.
Absolutely. And here's the other thing. If the Vikings can pull out some sort of a comeback here, then
let's watch
everyone
Duncan.
watching this telecast can come back and yell at us for calling that game.
That's going to be an incomplete pass.
So a pretty disappointing game so far for us personally. With Hazlitt losing, obviously Hazlitt faithful with both of us, but a very exciting defensive touchdown. I think we're going to see an onside kick here as well.
Well, onside kicks can be very exciting and can actually get a team back into the game. I didn't like to see what just happened right there with kind of miscommunication on a 2-point, that 2-point conversion right there. So.
We'll see what happens here. I know DeWitt has recovered several kickoffs, and that was mostly Hazlitt's fault, to be honest with you.
41-18, Brandon. 9:47.
We'll see what happens, Tony. I mean,
23 points, 4-possession game.
To win, yes. You make a couple 2-point conversions. And I still don't think they're out of this game yet. That was a little bit of a moment. They got a little momentum back.
Yeah. Get the fans into the game right here. You know what
I mean? I'll be honest. They just have. I don't even want to talk about.
Well, I'm not talking about student section. I'm talking about fans.
Yeah, the fan base here is great. I
just
think that the Hazlitt students just have not showed up to support
their
team.
team.
It's as much of a competition against their student section as it is their football team.
And here's going to be an onside kick. And you see Salentino just go up for that and bring it down. He's on the good hands team.
Wait, they put Salentino on the good hands team?
Exactly.
What was he thinking?
I don't know.
Jeez. Well, DeWitt's got the ball once again, and it looks like they're going to put the first string in once again. In fact, it appears as though they're putting in a 3-person offense. I can't wait to see what this happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ogugo Okafor should do really well on this.
That's a strange. I've never seen that before in my time in football. So this could be exciting.
41-18.
I'm not sure why we're still pretending like they're going to run out a 3-person package. I mean, we just know that's not going to happen. But
I think it's going to be a timeout right here.
That'd be pretty funny.
A little miscommunication on the DeWitt side, and you can see the coach over there, Rob Aker, trying to get his team back into it.
I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the Hazlitt Viking varsity cheerleaders: Alexa Brewer, Allie Isley, Sam Solomon, Abby Brown.
9:47 left in the game, and we're gonna throw it to a commercial, and we'll talk about this fourth
Tyler
quarter.
Switzley, Sierra Arriaga, Ashley Bone, Tori Davis, Kelly Eldridge, Chad Forsberg, Adam Bono, Katie Silkworth, and Ashley Smith, and Coach Diane Littleton.
Not to mention the stitches they lost count of. 5 years of rehab, a 34-inch scar, and 4 doctors that said I would never play again.
Flashing for 3.
Don't take what you have for granted. Sports are a privilege.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. DeWitt has the ball at about their 40-yard line. 9 minutes 47 seconds left on the clock. Cody Bryce gets the ball. He's going to take it to the outside. Gets sawed in half by a couple of Vikings. That's going to bring up second down.
And that last PSA we just showed on the station, on best PSA in the state, and was shown statewide and still is shown statewide when they replay the football finals on Fox Sports Net.
Also was on during the basketball finals at the Breslin Center.
But yeah, a very well done piece here. It was done by several gentlemen, which you and I both know.
Mm-hmm.
They did a great job, and they're now graduated, gone off to college.
And so you're going to see Van Drummel under center, going to hand it right off to Cody Bryce. He takes it straight up the middle for about 4-yard gain.
Bryce, the ball carrier.
So they'll bring up third down and about 3 to go. And I'd expect to see the same thing. Maybe give it to your big man, Joe Blisner.
If you really want to run up the score, do a play-action pass and have Fleet go right down the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's see.
I wouldn't put it past
Fleet even
him.
in the game right now?
Excuse me?
No, Fleet's not even in the game right now. You got Celentino at the top of your screen, but Hazlitt has stacked the box.
Yeah.
And that's a defensive adjustment they just made, what they were going to do all game, which has worked rather well if you think about it. I mean, Celentino and Fleet have really run up the score all season. They haven't done that much this game.
Going to hand it up to Mike Thompson. He gets the first down, but just by a yard. There's a flag after the play, so let's see what happens. DeWitt players clapping, so I assume it's going to be a personal foul, maybe out of frustration.
Yeah, I think that's just a frustration penalty. I mean, there's not much you can do at this point, and that's going to be exactly what it is against the Vikings. You know, and it's just a disappointing game for the Vikings. You know, they came into this game with high hopes. I know we both did, and I'm sure a lot of people did, and they just the offense couldn't get it done. It has nothing to do with the defense.
No.
I really don't. Despite the score, it has nothing to do with the defense, because where DeWitt is right now, that's where they've gotten the ball to start their drives at least 4 times.
Numerous times.
Unacceptable.
Watching game tape and watching this game over, it'll be just fun to see. Not really fun, but just
No, not fun at all.
Not fun, but you know what I mean.
It'll be interesting.
Interesting to see how many times DeWitt had amazing field position, awesome, if you will. And it looks like Thompson's going to take that to the outside, and Hughes will be there for the stop. Excuse me, TJ Joseph.
Yeah, he's one of those big defensive linemen that's made this defense so successful. And, you know, it really came down to exactly what I said in pregame. It came down to who had the least amount of turnovers and who made the least amount of mistakes.
Yeah, wow, you hit the nail on the head.
Well, with these two teams, you know, it really doesn't – I guess it does matter how good they both are, but, you know, when you get right down to it, this game comes down to whoever has the best fundamentals.
7:15 left on the clock for the game. Looks like Van Drubbel's in the shotgun. He's going to pitch it out to number 10. Ooh, big hit right there, Brandon. You can hear it from here.
That's the backup quarterback, Jimerson, taking it like a man. Strutting his stuff back to the huddle. You think he's a little rattled at the moment?
Just a little bit. He might be seeing a couple stars right now.
Hey, guys, where am I? Oh, man.
Third down, 10.
41-18 is the score. And 7 minutes on the clock. Let's see. The fog down there on the field. That was actually a sweet shot.
That was an awesome shot. Good job to you, my friend.
And it looks like Van Drummel's going to go in the back. In the shotgun, excuse me. He's going to throw it to Fleet. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Threw it behind him right there.
That'll bring up 4th down and 10 yards to go, and I believe DeWitt is also in 4-down territory.
Yeah, it looks like they might go for it.
Yeah, they're
I would
probably
go for
going
a
to
field goal right here. That's a sweet shot.
That's an awesome shot.
Definitely use that for some B-roll later on.
Yeah, despite the fact that it's over on the DeWitt side. You know, from here you can't even see that fog or that mist coming up off the grass.
There's Zach Houghton.
Oh, such a big guy. Look at him. He eats running backs for breakfast.
This is 4th down right here. DeWitt going to go back. Van Drummel has the ball. He has a guy open across the field. There's a flag on the play.
What have we got here?
Incomplete. There's a flag in the backfield, so let's see if it was holding, and it was. That'll probably be declined. So Hazlitt will take over on downs.
And they'll just try to put some more points up on the board and see if they can at least get within a couple touchdowns, maybe not to win, but for the final score.
Get a moral victory out of this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think that the offense is, I think they got a little talking to on the sideline saying, you know, don't give up ever, ever, ever. Always play until the whistle and play till the final 0. And that's what they have to do here, especially in a game like this.
And something about a game like this, you know, that can be emotionally exhausting is that you can have a little bit of a hangover on next week, but I think that this team will be focused and will regroup.
I think that they're going to come out really, I mean, they came out against, who was it? I think it was Eaton Rapids that they played after volleyball.
Yeah. They're going to throw it downfield. And look at that. Number 8, Ryan Sandville downfield. And he gets the catch. I thought I saw a flag on the field, but I guess I'm just seeing flags right now.
Yeah.
Nothing was thrown.
You must have taken a shot to the head, too.
So Hazlitt in the hurry-up offense right now. And just going to wait for the chains to reset. And Duncan back under duress. He's going to throw this one up.
No,
and
there's
who is
Fleet
he throwing to? He threw it to Fleet. The wrong number 7 right there. And Fleet's going to take this one back. And he's making people miss left and right. But number 11, Reggie Duncan, the guy who threw the interception, comes back and hits him hard, and
Reggie Duncan.
yeah, that's basically all I can
That's
say.
it, folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, when I'm not doing this, I'm leading that Hazlitt student section as best as I possibly can, regardless of if they follow me or not. There's a shot of them right there. I guess you can't blame them for not cheering now. They got nothing really to cheer about. That's a third interception in this game by Jason Fleet. And that's really it. That's all that Hazlitt really has left in this game. They're going to probably put in the scrubs. I don't know, though. I mean, there's 6:31 left in this game. I mean, they still have a shot at making a stop and perhaps getting some points up on the board and getting at least over 20. And I believe that's the most points that DeWitt will have. Actually, right now, that's the most points DeWitt's allowed all season. And Hazlitt's offense is certainly not the best offense in the land, but that was a defensive touchdown the last one. So.
Van Drummel going to hand it off to number 10, Jimerson. He's going to take
that could
this to the
definitely be
outside.
a hold,
and,
but it won't be. And Joshua Boutwell, however you say that, but he was, I don't know.
So, assuming that Hazlitt loses, unless, something momentous happens, do you think Hazlitt has a shot at getting the first round of the playoffs here at Viking Stadium?
Well, I think the only shot they have at that is if they come back and win this game, which is
so you don't think they'll
the
have home field
chances are dwindling.
Yeah. So with 2 losses, you don't think they'll be able to come back here?
I'm not entirely sure, Tony, how the whole playoff system works.
Well, remember last year Hazlitt had 2 losses. They lost to Davison and DeWitt last year, and then played against Alma, and then played away at DeWitt.
I'm not sure how much the conference schedule affects whether or not you get home field advantage, but
That's true, because they did
but only
beat
one
Fowlerville.
of the losses they had last year was a league loss. But
Number 70, Joseph on the stop.
I'm not
they
sure.
did beat Portland, and Portland's a rather good team too. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're still winning
might,
games.
It might go, with your strength of schedule. I know we thought Portland would be kind of a cupcake game, but actually, Portland's a rather good team.
Well, we'll see what the draw is in a few weeks for the playoffs. I think Hazlitt for sure is going to make it.
Oh yeah. Well, assuming they win against LCC and Okemos. 6-4. I'm sorry, I don't think that's going to cut it. 4:57 left on the clock, and looks like Van Drummel's just going to try to take this clock down. He keeps it for himself, and number 32, Wes Sherman, is going to bring him down, but Van Drummel had the presence in mind to get 2 yards before he was
That'll
brought
bring
down.
up 4th down, and I believe DeWitt's just going to punt this one away. Why would you not? It really seems silly to think that Hazlitt can mount a comeback here, especially the way that their offense has been playing football all night.
4th down,
Josh
3.
Moulton back to receive this punt. 4:25 and counting. 4th down and 3. 41-18 DeWitt. Snap is good. And the punt, pretty good. End over end. Moulton gonna catch this one. He fumbles
Almost
it.
caught it.
And he'll be dropped down. So
Boy,
he had
he
the
was-
presence in mind to pick that one up. But
He was so close to catching that ball.
Power stick taken by number 7, Josh Moulton.
But he did recover, made a smart play, so I could say kudos to him. And there is the looming score. Excuse me, let me rephrase and make this almost give you chills. There's the score looming over the Hazlitt sideline. 41-18 in favor of DeWitt, their hated rivals.
at their own house.
4 minutes left in the game. Hazlitt's going to try to put up some points on the board. But just...
First time Hazlitt's lost since 97.
At home, yeah.
At home.
Against DeWitt.
And I believe the score was 40-20.
Yeah, so very similar to
yeah.
what the score is tonight.
Kind of eerie.
A little bit.
That look gave basically the whole synopsis of the game right there.
10 years ago. 10 years ago they lost by about the same score. But I'm not even calling a game yet. I mean, it seems like DeWitt has this one in the bag, but I think Hazlitt should score more points. They better.
At least one more touchdown.
At least one, if not more.
Victory or something. 4 minutes on the clock. I think
wouldn't overtime be great?
They did 2 timeouts for DeWitt, 1 timeout for Hazlitt. 41-18. Tony Taylor back in at quarterback. And he's under center, and there's just a whole bunch of frenzy right there. The guard looks like he's just a little bit slow, and that's gonna, I don't know, that's 1 yard gain maybe.
Coach Aluski's put in the second string offense, so it appears as though he's basically thrown in the towel as well. And I believe we're going to see the DeWitt second stringers come out now.
Tony Taylor under center. And it looks like they're going to, Tony Taylor's going to hold on to this one, and he's taking this to the outside. He's going to cut this upfield. He's still on his feet, folks, and he gets it over the 50-yard line. So there's a first down, and Tony Taylor, this is his senior year, last time he'll ever play against DeWitt, and he doesn't want to go away quietly.
Yeah, you better believe. I think he may lead this offense to a touchdown here, we would hope, and at least allow himself to think positively of his last moments on the field against DeWitt. And unfortunately for this senior class, they have not really pulled out with a victory against DeWitt in their high school career.
Yeah.
And that has always been the goal.
Every year, beat DeWitt.
Since youth football, you dream about beating DeWitt.
Tyler Joseph, Ben Rizzo, Mike Nowak, the only 3 players on the current roster to ever beat DeWitt.
On varsity.
On varsity. Fumble, another. Bobbled snap, and I guarantee that Coach O will be talking about the fumbles in next week.
And that will be a first down for DeWitt.
That's just adding insult to injury right there.
Well, it's not DeWitt doing it. That would be the Hazlet Vikings offense shooting themselves in the foot with, I believe, their 8th or 9th fumble of the game. An unacceptable statistic. There is no reason to fumble of the ball
in the biggest game of the
season.
Game. The biggest game of the season.
A must-win.
Yeah.
No reason for it. None at all. And Mike Hilker, the leader of this defense, no longer on the field. The second stringer's out. Going to see what they can do on defense.
2 minutes and 43 seconds left on the clock. 41-18 DeWitt. I don't know why they're wanting the play clock to go down. The clock hasn't even started. And they're going to hand it off to number 32.
Devin Laurent in their quarterback.
And he'll be brought down. Not before a 5-yard gain.
Kevin Shack will stop for the Vikings.
Well, Tony, I think we knew coming into this season that DeWitt was going to be the class of the
DeWitt
CAAC Gold. You know,
I think we both thought DeWitt and Fowlerville were good teams, and Hazlet certainly isn't a bad team.
No, they're no joke of a team, that's for sure. They're a very good team. It's just they did not play well on offense tonight.
They didn't show up. Did not show up.
They showed up in the first quarter, first drive.
And 2 minutes and counting. We're going to hand this off, and he's going to take this to the outside. And he's still on his feet. He's going to get the first down.
Number 6.
So DeWitt mounting a drive with their second string offense in.
Got by number 19, Darian Milton, and number 8, Ryan Sandville.
You know, if Hazlet doesn't get that game in the playoffs, this could be our penultimate telecast.
Could be, Tony, but you know, even though this game is basically over with 1:42 left to play, and the score being the way that it is, and the morale being the way it is, I still don't think this team is out of the playoffs.
No, I'm not saying they're out of the playoffs. I'm just talking about home. And a little bit of miscommunication, but number 12 is going to take the ball. And he makes a couple moves, make a couple guys, he's dragging a guy, and he gets maybe the first down on that one. I'm not sure. We'll see where it's marked.
And that's John Fletcher getting faked out of his shoes there.
So 1 minute, 10 seconds, and counting.
And at this point,
it's hopeless.
The fans here and the players are just hoping that clock hits zero as soon as possible. But
a lot of DeWitt people have left.
Yep. Students are taking off. The fans are leaving knowing that this game is won handily. And it's exactly what the media locally predicted that it was going to be.
45 seconds and counting. 41-18 is the score right now. DeWitt going to run just one more play, it looks like, and the quarterback's going to hold on to it for himself. He's going to fumble the ball, and I think Hazlet jumps on the ball. So 35 seconds left on the clock. Hazlitt gets, I believe, only the second turnover of the game. For, DeWitt's second turnover of the game.
Yeah, that would be the total of, I think, maybe the 11th turnover. No, more than that. It'd be about the 14th turnover of the game.
At the half, Hazlitt had lost 3 fumbles. And second half really just kind of fell apart. And Hazlitt, Tony Taylor in. They're going to be in a wing T formation.
DeWitt's going to stack the box. Why would he not?
Looks like Tony Taylor's going to hold on to the ball. He's going to be chased from behind, and he will be dropped down, but not before a 4-yard gain. And 24 seconds left on the clock.
And that clock will tick as the DeWitt fans that remain on the other side of the field will anticipate the final zeros, and the final score of this game is going to be 41-18. DeWitt handily beating the Vikings after a poor offensive effort. But Tony, you're never going to win football games if you turn the ball over 12 times in
especially
one game.
if you're playing against a team named DeWitt.
DeWitt is they're just a good team. They're just a good team. And you're not going to beat them if you commit penalties like that, and that's what I said earlier in the broadcast. You're not going to beat DeWitt. Whoever wins this game committed the least amount of penalties, and I'll continue that in just a second. And Mark is not here, and he's been working for this station for over 10 years, and he's a great cameraman, and he is not here because he's been inducted into the National Cameraman Hall of Fame. So big time congratulations to him. He is amazing, and we are so honored that he has worked with us for so long. And we certainly missed him tonight. And getting back to the game, Tony, so disappointing for us our senior year, seeing Hazlitt go down big time to DeWitt, but there may be a rematch in the playoffs. We're not
Not really sure. Yeah, kind of in the blind right now.
And if Hazlitt catches a crappy draw, they might see Fowlerville in Division III playoffs, and that would be a pretty good rematch, don't you think?
I think they're a better match against Fowlerville than they are DeWitt.
Yeah, DeWitt, I think, is just head and shoulders above Hazlitt and Fowlerville. I think they belong at the, as much as I hate admitting it, they belong at the top of this league this year and last year. And, Hazlitt and Fowlerville, I think Fowlerville kind of caught a break with their scheduling, They were able to beat Hazlitt in a close game, and they lost to DeWitt as their only loss, and now they're playing Eaton Rapids, and that's the end of their conference schedule.
Yeah.
And so they take second place, and Hazlitt will take third.
Outright.
They're not tying for third. There may be a couple.
Tying down at the bottom of the barrel.
The very, very bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
That almost made sense. But anyway, we're just rambling. We don't know what to say quite here, and just a disappointing game. But we'd like to thank you for joining us on the Vision 22 Live. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks against Okemos, renewing
a crosstown rivalry.
A crosstown rival. We haven't played them in over 30 years. So it's going to be a great matchup. We hope to see you back here in a couple weeks. Coverage will start at 6:45. As always, for Tony Huff and the rest of the Vision Sports crew, I'm Brandon Manson. Good night.